Phoenix Stadium here as we are set for the Broncos and the Cardinals. Dave Logan, Ed McCaffrey, and our third member of the broadcast team tonight is down on the sideline. We say hello to Rod Mackey.
Yeah, that's right, guys. And Peyton Manning's return has been well documented, but he's not the only Bronco who's got a great comeback story. Take his good friend Brandon Stokely. Stokely played just 2 games with the Giants last year before he was injured and out with a quad injury. He thought his career was over. Then Peyton Manning gave him a call in the spring and said, hey, let's go throw the football around at Duke. So 36-year-old Peyton Manning and 36-year-old Brandon Stokely got together. Both look good, and now both are with the Denver Broncos, the same team that cut Stokely 2 years ago. Not going to happen again. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
It's always good to be wearing a visor in that 4th preseason game, as you saw Peyton Manning and Brandon Stokely on the sideline. Demaryius Thomas has the visor on. Visor means that your action is done. You can kind of sit back and enjoy watching some of these other guys compete for spots on this club. Denver has won the toss. They will receive. And again, we remind you that we are simulcasting tonight, both on TV on Channel 20 and, of course, on 850 KOA, the flagship station of the Broncos, and the Broncos Radio Network. Both these teams last year finishing 8-8. An interesting battle that we'll talk some tonight about here in Phoenix with respect to the quarterback of the Cardinals. We will not see either guy that is in the competition. Kevin Cobb and John Skelton. Richard Bartell will start, followed by a 6th-round draft pick Ryan Lindley of San Diego State. There's Kevin Cobb.
There's a battle for returner as well. Omar Bolden's hoping he finally gets a chance to return one in this game. Most of these kicks, as you know, go out of the end zone.
Jay Feely has it teed up, and we are underway. An end-over-end kick deep in the end zone. Here comes Omar Bolden, 8 yards deep out over the 10, and Bolden's going to be knocked down shy of the 15-yard line. Omar Bolden, the 4th-round draft choice this year from Arizona State in neighboring Tempe. Hit there by Alfonso Smith.
He's got good speed and strength. That's not the return he was looking for, but at least he got a chance to return something.
Guys trying to make the team are going to do whatever they can to make big plays. Bolden thought he'd bring one out from deep in the end zone. So we see Caleb Haney, the Bronco offense, starting from their 14. The offset eye, Gronkowski and Moreno. Noshan's first carry off the left side, and Noshan Moreno with good running there is out of the 20-yard line. Spot him at the 23. It's a gain of 9. Tackle there by Darrell Washington, the 3rd-year linebacker out of TCU.
Don't expect to see a whole lot of different looks from the Broncos offense today. They just want to see how guys move, how they react. Noshan ran the stretch play to the left side. Looked pretty good. Playing it hard, got some yards.
Noshan coming off that torn ACL last year in that game on the road at Arrowhead Stadium. 2nd down and 1. Second carry for Noshan. Nice hole there. Stiff arms once, stiff arms twice, and is ushered out of bounds into the Bronco bench. He's got a 1st down. Spot him at the 33-yard line. Again, Darrell Washington was there for the Cardinals. But consecutive runs for Noshan Moreno net the Broncos the game's first down.
Yeah, 2 carries, 2 good runs. Got a great block by Gronkowski. You know, here's one starter who doesn't get to wear a visor today. The fullback, there's only one of them. Excellent block by Gronkowski, and that stiff arm something that Noshan is looking to perfect this season.
Caleb Haney at quarterback. He's in the shotgun for the first time. A trip set to the left. Caldwell now in motion to the right side. Haney, quick throw, left side pass is going to be caught. Not much yardage there. Quick throw to Jason Hill. And Patrick Peterson, the 1st-round pick last year for the Cardinals, an excellent tackle. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Peterson has some incredible speed. Talk about an athlete. The guy ran 4 80-yard punt returns back for touchdowns last year. This guy is flat-out athletic and good size for a corner, 6'1", 219. He's expecting a big season again this year.
Yeah, you don't see corners in this league that are that size, normally speaking, 6'1" to 220 pounds.
Not with that speed.
2nd down and 10. The offset eye is Haney back under center. Stretch play right side. Moreno patiently cuts back now, and Noshan's going to work out to about the 38-yard line. Gain of about 4. Again, Darrell Washington on the tackle for Arizona. Help from Calais Campbell. Campbell, by the way, a Denver product, attended South High School before going off to college in Miami, now in his 5th season.
I met Calais when he was in 9th grade, Dave. He said he couldn't believe how big and strong I look. Now he absolutely towers over me.
He has been a productive player in his 4 seasons plus in the National Football League.
Great guy, too. Great guy.
3rd down, let's call it 3rd and a long 5. Shotgun for Caleb Haney. 5-man rush. Haney avoids one, throws on the run. Pass is going to be caught. That's going to be, they're going to say incomplete. Julius Thomas had his hands on the football, but he got jarred by James Sanders, the 8-year safety at Fresno State, and the Broncos will have to punt the ball. Thomas is a guy fighting to make this roster as well, the 4th-round pick last year, former basketball player at Portland State.
Here you go. I got to give credit to Haney. It was a perfect pass. Julius Thomas had the catch. He let him knock it out of his hands. You got to be strong with the ball when you're getting covered closely.
Yep, those are the kind of catches you have to make if you're on the bubble. Andre Roberts drops deep for the Cardinals. As Britton Colquitt hits it down to about the 20. Roberts does not give the fair catch signal and is hit down immediately. Good coverage there by Omar Bolden. The Cardinals will start right at the 20-yard line. 12:15 to go here in the first quarter. Broncos have had it once. They've had to punt. The Cardinals will have it for their first opportunity when we return. Cardinals will have the football for the first time. Broncos had a 5-play, 24-yard drive, 42 yards on that punt. Now we see what Arizona has in mind. Ryan Lindley gets to start, the 6th-round draft choice of Arizona. 6'3" and 232 pounds. College teammate of the Broncos' 3rd-round pick, Ronnie Hillman. Straight I formation, handoff left side, and out to about the 25-yard line goes William Powell.
Pretty vanilla defense by the Broncos. They probably leave their corners in a lot of man-to-man coverage to test them out.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's Beanie Wells in the first carry.
There's a guy trying to make the team as well.
Danny Trevathan.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to play today, but apparently they think they need to see a little more out of him.
Yep, we were told Trevathan would not play, but he was into that first tackle. 2nd down and a long 4. Lindley dropped to throw. Pass is going to be out over the 30-yard line, complete. That's Andre Roberts, the 3rd-year wide receiver from the Citadel, Robert Ayers, with good pressure that time, but a first down for the Cardinals. Mike Muhammad on the tackle.
You got Nate Irving, coverage on the tight end. He made a nice move and got Muhammad on the out route. That's his zone coverage. Lindley did a good job of finding the opening in the zone and making a nice throw. They're very high on Lindley. They like him here in Arizona.
Excuse me, Eddie. Mike Muhammad, the 6th-round pick last year, played outside for the Broncos. Now he's in middle linebacker. Here's the toss, Beanie Wells left side, and Wells pulled down just as he was about to gain steam by Danny Trevathan. Trevathan is an interesting player for these Broncos. 6th-round draft choice. He led the Southeastern Conference in tackles in each of the last 2 years. 4-year starter at the University of Kentucky.
You know, teams always have spots on their rosters for guys that can make tackles. Here you see his speed, his athletic ability, finds a way to get him down with just a hand, and he's definitely fighting for a spot on this roster. It helps when you make plays like that.
2nd down and 3. Lindley a short drop. Fade route left side, and Fitzgerald the intended receiver. Ball lands out of bounds, and here comes a flag from deep in the Broncos secondary. Drayton Florence was on the coverage, and he is going to get called, I believe, for either illegal contact or pass interference.
I think Drayton Florence is an excellent DB. He's going to back up both the left and right quarterback positions, but I think it's a good decision for them to play him today. He looked like a little rusty.
Pass interference. Number 29 on the defense. Spot foul, automatic, first down.
The voice of tonight's referee, Jerry Hughes. Yeah, Florence is a guy that you know what kind of coverage you're going to get. He's a very physical corner, guy that wants to come up and press a lot.
He's very physical. He's tall. He's strong. I like him in cover too. And you know, I'm a receiver, Dave. It's tough when you get in those little hand slap battles to call that when you're a defensive back. Pretty good coverage by Drayton on a great receiver.
1st and 10 now. The ball at the Broncos' 42-yard line. Denver trying to get a lined up front. There's the handoff to Beanie Wells, and Wells is going to be hit and pulled down. There's Malik Jackson's first tackle of the game.
I'll tell you what, if there's a sleeper on this defense, Dave, I don't know if there's going to be, but if there's a sleeper, it might be Malik Jackson. He's got great strength. He can play the D end and D tackle position. There you see him shed the block, make the tackle. This guy is very talented. He weighs in at 270, but he could put easily another 30 pounds on over a year or two. I think Jack Del Rio is pretty high on it. It's going to be tough to make the roster, but he is a very talented young man.
Jackson started his college career as a Trojan, USC, and then transferred, played his last 2 seasons at Tennessee. Second down, 2nd and 9. Handoff Wells, left side. Beanie plows into Drayton Florence and Danny Trevathan, carries him to about the 35-yard line, brings up the 3rd down and close to 3. Beanie Wells is a big, strong back. They just hope he can stay healthy. Some pushing and shoving going on now at the bottom of the pile. Wells at 6'2" and 230 pounds, 4-year player out of Ohio State.
Getting a little chippy here in the preseason. Yeah, Wells is strong and fast, and since Hightower left, he is the guy. They're looking to rely a little more on the ground game this year in Arizona, especially if they have trouble throwing the ball. He is going to be the man in the backfield for the Cardinals. Got a good backup, too, in Ryan Williams.
TV audience can see there's under 9 minutes to go. We'll remind the radio listeners, 8:55 to be exact, and we've got a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Arizona.
That's head coach Ken Wisenhunt trying to figure out why the snap clock was not reset. We're going to take a timeout as well. Actually, we will keep it right here. John Fox, talked to him earlier this week. We'll talk about that as well. Timeout from University of Phoenix Stadium on the Broncos Broadcast Network. These two teams eminently familiar with each other. The 8th time in the last 9 seasons the Broncos and the Cardinals have squared off in the preseason finale. Dropping the throw and completing the pass, and this should be enough for a 1st down. Lindley hitting Andre Roberts there. Tackle on the play by Jim Leonard. Leonard's another interesting player, Eddie, a guy that has been a good player in this league, picked up and trying to bounce back from a really serious leg injury.
Yeah, they like his intelligence, they like his speed, and they like his leadership. They wanted a veteran player back there in the secondary calling the shots. You almost have to be as smart as you are fast to play that position these days.
Cardinals football 1st and 10 now on the Denver 30-yard line. Lindley deep in the pocket, sets and throws. This pass is going to be caught on the crossing route. That's Todd Heap, who rolls inside the 25-yard line, hit at that point by Tony Carter.
We all know about Todd Heap, an excellent tight end. The Cardinals have a couple of good tight ends. Here Todd Heap just tricks Nate Irving on a little out route. Nate got caught looking in the backfield. Heap made a nice play, got a few yards out of it.
Kind of interesting, the difference in philosophy between the Broncos and the Cardinals tonight. Todd Heap is in his 12th season at Arizona State, and yet he's playing here in the final preseason game. The 5th, by the way, for the Cardinals. They played in the Hall of Fame game. 2nd down and 3. Handoff off the left side. That's Alfonso Smith, 3rd-year running back out of Kentucky. Nate Irving there on the tackle.
Yeah, Beanie Wells is their starting running back. They have him toting the rock. They have Todd Heap in. Jeff King may play. A little inside zone read. Gets nothing, a couple of yards. There's a lot of guys on this Denver Broncos defensive line competing for a job tonight. There might be 3 spots that 4 different guys are competing for.
3rd down, 3rd and 2. Lindley will take the snap, turns and hands off to Beanie Wells, and good penetration there as a late penalty flag comes in. Kevin Dickerson with excellent penetration. We'll wait and see as to what the call is. It came from behind the Cardinals formation, which normally means holding.
Yeah, it probably is. Uh-oh.
Nope.
They're talking about it.
Actually, he went to the wrong bench, I believe.
There we go.
Referee Jerry Hughes starting to ask Ken Wisenhunt whether or not he wanted to accept the penalty.
Holding, number 70 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Bobby Massey, the right tackle. Big rookie out of Mississippi.
There you see Nice play by Vickerson. He's had an incredible training camp. Sans the concussion, he's played extremely well. We also saw Silver Salinga in there. They're looking at how he can take on double teams and anchor that line. He's fighting for a job as well.
For the TV audience that could watch that, not much of a hole there, honestly, on Massey. 3rd down and 12 now. And the Broncos are going to take a timeout. We will take one as well. 6:34 to go in a scoreless first quarter from Glendale, Arizona. This is the Broncos Broadcast Network. 5 catches in this preseason. He is ready to go. Peyton Manning, of course, has already started to work in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Interesting opener a week from this Sunday. Sunday Night Football in the Mile High City. Here's a 3rd and 2. Shotgun time for Lindley. Gets the check down. This is going to be a 1st down inside the 25-yard line. That is Jeff King, starting tight end in his 7th season out of Virginia Tech. Sticks will move. 1st down at the Bronco 22-yard line. Danny Trevathan with help from Omar Bolden on the tackle.
Lindley's showing a lot of poise and composure in the pocket. Broncos only rushing 4, but he gets a nice little check down. Once again, Danny Trevathan on the tackle. He's maybe a little late reacting, but he is definitely around the ball on just about every play tonight.
Now they've actually spotted him short of the 1st down. So Jay Feely from the 30, an attempt to 40 yards. Feely hits the left upright, bounces back into the end zone. No good.
How do you think he's feeling right now? It's the preseason. Good to get those out of the way in the preseason.
Boy, you're not kidding. So the Broncos will take over in possession of the football, scoreless here in Arizona on the Broncos Broadcast Network. There's an attempt from 40 yards out. Bangs the left upright. Just enough draw that it did not go through. Back to action, quick throw right side. Ball's going to be incomplete, intended for Bubba Caldwell.
Nice read by Feely. Haney. Excellent throw. Read the defense. That's a hard route to throw to the outside. You got to get rid of it quick, and you got to put it outside of the receiver toward the sideline. So far, Haney's looking pretty good to me, Dave. He's definitely making a stand.
2nd down and 10. Haney under center. Moreno takes the handoff, stretch play right side, and Noshawn in trouble with 2nd effort. Ekes out a gain of maybe a couple. Good penetration there, led by Stuart Bradley, the 6-year linebacker of Nebraska.
Once again, Broncos run stretch. I would have liked to see him give Bubba Caldwell the reverse. Noshawn making good runs. He's made a lot of runs like this in his career. I think tonight they're looking for him to do something a little different. Break a run of over 20 yards, hit that seam, make a guy miss, run through that arm tackle, and make a big-time run.
Moreno's longest run of his career in 3 seasons with the Broncos, 36 yards. That came his rookie season. 3rd down now, 3rd and 8. Trips formation to the left side. Haney's in the shotgun. Protection is good. Now starts to break down. Haney trying to run is going to be pulled down at the 31-yard line by Stuart Bradley. That is much a coverage sack as anything else.
Yeah, we talked about him getting flustered in the pocket, but really there's nothing he could do. He made a smart move. He tried to get upfield and get what he could get. Most importantly, Dave, he protected the football, didn't put it on the ground.
So Larry Parker is back deep for Arizona. Britton Colquitt's 2nd punt in 2 possessions for the Broncos. Colquitt, nice spiraling effort. Parker from the 22 is going to be hit and knocked down immediately. Good coverage there. That was Steven Johnson vying for a spot on this team, and the big linebacker down to state his case after the punt of 45 yards.
Nice play by Steven Johnson. That's how he makes this team, is on special teams. Great tackle.
Timeout on the field, 4:13 to go. First quarter scoreless from Glendale, Arizona on the Broncos Broadcast Network. ball for their second opportunity. Welcome back to Glendale, Arizona. 1st and 10, Arizona from their 24. Handoff left side, and that's Beanie Wells out close to the 30-yard line. By the way, Bronco fans, join Drew Soysher and Rod Mackey for game day analysis, player interviews, and the latest on the AFC West on Broncos Tonight. That's every Sunday night at 10:35 on 9 News.
Nate Irving getting a little chippy out there. He's trying to hold off Jerry Franklin for that backup Sam linebacker position. These guys are fighting for a job out there tonight.
It's usually that way in that final preseason game. Some guys can see the writing on the wall and got to go out and make something happen. Play fake on second down. Pass over the middle is deflected and incomplete. Ball was intended for Michael Floyd. Mike Mohammed got his hand on that football.
I got to tell you, Malik Jackson was in there as well. He had a nice little rush, got a hand up in the eyes of the quarterback. Malik Jackson is a talented guy. Gets his hand up, might have got a tip on it. I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for them to decide whether to go with Beal, Jackson, Trevathan. One of those guys is going to have to maybe be on the practice squad, probably between Malik Jackson and Danny Trevathan.
Good shot of Michael Floyd, the first-round pick of the Cardinals. 3rd down. From the shotgun pass to early, Doucette is going to be caught in a 1st down. Indeed, Doucette, one of those possession receivers, 5-year guy out of LSU. Leonard and Bolden combined on the Broncos, but a 1st down as the sticks will move.
Broncos bring a little bit of a blitz on that play, leaves Bolden in man-to-man coverage. Doucette runs a nice route, makes a nice catch.
Gain of 12, 1st and 10, Arizona. Under 3 to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Tight trips formation to the right side. Handoff to Beanie Wells. Wells bursts through a big hole, and he's going to fall into Bronco territory at the Denver 49. That's a gain of 8 on 1st down. Hit there by Robert Ayers.
Nice call by Jack Del Rio. Sends Trevathan. He's in the backfield, has his arm on him, doesn't come up with that one. We've been bragging about him, but you don't make every tackle.
Spotted back actually on the other side of midfield, so it's going to go as a gain of 7, 2nd down to 3. There's Jack Del Rio, first-year defensive coordinator for the Broncos. Lindley under center, drops and floats one deep. Ball's going to be intercepted. That's Drayton Florence down the sideline. Now cuts back to the middle of the field over the 40. Penalty flag is thrown as Florence is knocked down at the Denver 48-yard line. Malik Jackson got great pressure there. DeMarco Sampson finally tackled Drayton Florence. Now we wait and see as to what the call is. It would be the 2nd interception of the preseason for the Broncos.
Excellent coverage by Drayton Florence. He ran with Michael Floyd all the way down the field, looked back. When Floyd looked back, Floyd tried to push off of him, but the ball was underthrown. Great heads-up play by Florence.
Replacement officials have worked the entire preseason schedule, and it was announced, I believe, yesterday that they will work the opener Wednesday night with the Cowboys and the Giants.
Sham Bailey isn't playing tonight. Chris Harris isn't playing tonight.
There are multiple fouls on the play. During the return, blocking the back, number 56 on the defense. Personal foul, roughing the quarterback, number 91 on the defense. That penalty will be enforced. 15-yard, creating a spot, automatic 1st down.
So 2 fouls on the Broncos. First, Robert Ayers. Man, oh man. I know people on radio can't see that, but you can't drive him into the turf. That would be the only thing, I guess, that would be in question there. You cannot pile drive the quarterback, but certainly the hit was not late.
Oh, it was a clean hit. It wasn't that late. Honestly, once he put his head down, he wasn't sure if the quarterback let go of the ball or not. That is such a tough call. I mean, back when we played, of course, as old-timers, you don't even blink at that hit.
No, you're right. But in today's football, you can't drive that quarterback into the ground. So I think when they reviewed that, I would say that's a ticky-tack penalty, but also one that you could justify if you're an official. 1st down with the penalty, so wipe out the interception. 1st and 10 in the Broncos 35. Pass on the right's going to be low as Ryan Lindley tried to squeeze the football in there. Incomplete. Tried to get it to fullback Anthony Sherman. Hey, join Andy Lindahl and David Treadwell on the radio for Broncos Primetime. That's coming up every Thursday night at 7 on 850 KOA. It's your chance to talk about the Broncos and also get a preview of the upcoming game. Lindley thus far 5 of 7 for 45 yards. He is the odds-on favorite to make this team as the third quarterback. Here's the draw handoff, and Beanie Wells is upended by Danny Trevathan just shy of the 30-yard line. Wells looked like he was starting to get a full head of steam, and Trevathan took him down with a nice knee-high tackle.
Yeah, Cardinals run a little draw play, a little delay run. There's a sieve of a hole there. Once again, Trevathan, Johnny on the spot. He's all around the ball. That's exactly what he needs to do to make the team.
We told you earlier, he led the Southeastern Conference in tackles the last 2 seasons. That in and of itself is impressive. 3rd and 5. Lindley in the pocket, throws, pass caught. Todd Heap with a nice pass reception of a low throw. Trevathan on the tackle immediately right at the 26-yard line. About a yard shy of the first down.
Todd Heap is a pretty good pass-catching tight end, and Trevathan is all over him. Plays the in route, gets a little hand on him, swipes at the ball. Excellent coverage. If he's going to back up a guy like Wesley Woodyard, he is going to have to cover tight ends out of the backfield. I thought he did a pretty good job on that play.
But Jay Feely missed earlier from 40 yards out, so on 4th and 1, Kid Wisenhunt decides to go for it. Double tight end set, offset eye. Handoff right side, and Quentin Carter with a big hit on the running back, Javarius James. This is going to depend on the spot. Carter, the 4th-round pick last year out of Oklahoma, with the hit of the game thus far. They're going to say first down and not even measure it. John Fox is 7 yards out on the field.
You know, it's nice to see Quentin Carter back on the field. He's a hard-hitting safety the Broncos have missed so far this preseason due to injury, but he certainly looked good there. That play was made possible by fullback Anthony Sherman.
We have come to the end of the first quarter. The Cardinals' drive will continue as they convert a 4th down and short. Although we'll take maybe a look at the replay when we return. I didn't think he made the first down. First quarter is done from Glendale, Arizona. The Broncos and the Cardinals scoreless on the Broncos Broadcast Network. I'm out talking to referee Jerry Hughes. Cardinals, I think, were short and at least should have been a measurement here. You can see the big hit by Carter. He's got to reach the 30. Maybe with second effort he was there. Fox wanted a measurement, didn't get it. So the drive continues as we open the second quarter, 1st and 10. Arizona from the Denver 25, scoreless as we start the second quarter. Handoff left side. That is the first carry for William Powell, first-year running back out of Kansas State, knocked down there by Danny Trevathan.
Powell does a nice job of bouncing this play outside. He's in a pretty stiff competition with Alphonso Smith for that 4th running back spot on the Cardinals. If you remember him last year, carried the ball 29 times for 2.1 yards per carry against the Broncos in the preseason.
I'll tell you what, I've called Danny Trevathan's name a bunch here. Always around the ball. Lindley drops, steps and throws. Pass to in the end zone is going to be caught. An unbelievable catch by Michael Floyd. Tony Carter was right there. Floyd went high in the air to get it and somehow managed to hold on.
Yeah, I almost called that matchup. Floyd's got a nice height and size advantage over Tony Carter. They love this guy out of Notre Dame. He's got all kinds of records that he set at Notre Dame. That's why they picked him in the first round. He's one heck of a player.
So Michael Floyd, a 22-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Lindley. He's going to keep that game ball, evidently.
Cardinals get great pass protection. Lindley drops back, moves around to the pocket, extends the play. That's just an amazing acrobatic catch by Floyd. That's probably why he set a lot of those records. There's been great receivers that have come through Notre Dame. You make catches like that, you set some records.
And Tony Carter had excellent coverage and really battled for that football. But Floyd was a big receiver, 220 pounds, able to keep his eye on it and falling to the turf, able to gather it in. Jay Feely's extra point is up and good. And the Cardinals strike first, 7-0 Arizona over Denver from University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale, Arizona. Timeout on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Cardinals on the board first, a 10-play, 76-yard drive, an amazing catch by rookie Michael Floyd.
Yeah, this one makes the highlight reel. Carter has great coverage. Floyd just gets his left hand up there, spins around, gets hit in the middle of the catch, and still comes down with it. He's one heck of an athlete. It's exactly why they drafted him in the first round.
As you could see, he took a pretty good shot from Jim Leonard in midair and still managed to make the catch. Omar Bolden back deep for the Broncos.
Come on, Omar.
Feely with a driving end-over-end kick. Omar thought about it. He thought about it, but wisely was told to take a knee, and the Broncos will start from their 20. You can hear every Broncos game all season long exclusively on 850 KOA and the Broncos Radio Network. Season opener is not that far away, Sunday, September 9th. That's when the Broncos host the Pittsburgh Steelers. The network pregame show begins at 4 on 850 KOA, the Broncos Radio Network as well. TV coverage begins at 5 p.m. with NBC's Football Night in America, followed by kickoff of Sunday Night Football at 6:20. Ought to be a lot of fun. And Sports Authority Field at Mile High will be rocking a week from this Sunday. Quick throw left side. Pass is caught on a little smoke route. That's Greg Orton, the rookie out of Purdue. Greg Toller there for Arizona, but a gain of about 5, maybe 6.
Haney saw off coverage, hit Orton on a little smoke route, little 1-yard route. Got good yardage after the catch. He's another guy battling with Jason Hill and Matthew Willis for a roster spot.
Gain of about 6.5. Second down and a long 3. Here's the handoff. Moreno bounces off one of his own blockers and then works his way up to the 31-yard line. That will be enough for a first down. David Carter combining with Jamel Fleming on the tackle. Somebody lost a shoe.
No shot.
No shot. Does he run right out of his shoe? Let's take a look. He did. The shoe came off before the contact. Big night for Noshawn Moreno. Can he do enough to be on the final 53? Play fake now. Haney with plenty of time. Caleb rolling to his right, pumps once, now throws on the run. Pass is caught, but was it inbounds? They're going to say out of bounds. That's Jarrell Robinson, the rookie out of Arizona State. He made a nice catch in front of Jamel Fleming, but it's out of bounds, second down and 10.
There are 2 receivers out there on the field right now, Greg Orton and Jarrell Robinson. Both are big, strong, physical receivers. He doesn't get his feet in bounds, but I'm telling you what, this is another guy who I think will find his way into the Broncos practice squad. He's got a ton of talent. He played with Brock Osweiler in college. He's a little raw, a little green, has trouble getting off bump and run, but I think he's a talent. He may find his way onto the practice squad.
6'4" and 225 pounds. Handoff, here's Lance Ball's first carry. Ball hurdling one of his own teammates to work for a gain of maybe a yard. Special broadcast tonight of Denver Broncos football. We're simulcasting to audiences on TV on Channel 20 and on 850 KOA and the Broncos Radio Network. From Glendale, Arizona, Dave Logan, Ed McCaffrey, Rod Mackey with you. The Broncos winding up their preseason schedule in a very familiar place against a team that they've seen in the finale 8 of the last 9 years. Here's a third down and 9. Caleb Haney's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked inside the Bronco 25-yard line. Bonnie Holiday, former Bronco, now in his 15th season out of North Carolina.
Still showing a little speed after 15 years.
Bonnie, one of the really good people, as well as an excellent player. And the Broncos offense not shown too much thus far. 2 3-and-outs. They open the game on a 5-play drive. Larry Parker's back deep for Arizona. Britton Colquitt's third punt in 3 possessions. Each of the first 2 of 42 yards. Very high kick, not all that deep. Parker waves fair catch, gives a signal, and makes it successfully at the 35-yard line. Another 42-yard punt. Time out of the field with 12:01 to go first half. Cardinals with a 7-0 lead over the Broncos. This is the Broncos Broadcast Network. As the Cardinals will start 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. We've been joined in booth by the Executive Vice President of Football Operations for the Broncos. That would be John Elway. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you.
What, anything catch your eye so far in this preseason finale?
No.
Other than you're glad you're not down there?
Yeah, exactly. That was a pretty darn good catch that kid made, though. But
great catch.
Other than that, we'd like to get something going offensively.
Here's a first down handoff. Great penetration there. Steven Johnson, the linebacker, again on an early tackle of William Powell. You got some tough decisions to make here in the next 24 hours or so.
We do. It's the toughest time of year because these kids put their heart and soul in it since March and go through training camp. And I think that it's hard to break those hearts, but we have some tough decisions, which is a good thing. Good position to be in.
Second down and 13 now. Clock at 11:25 to go here in the first half. 7-0 Cardinals. Lindley's gone the entire first half. He's hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Took a big shot from Nate Irving. Incomplete, brings up the 3rd down. Nate Irving's a guy that last year was a 3rd-round draft choice. Started out playing inside. You moved him to the outside.
He's been playing all over. He played a little bit of Sam, and now he's played some Mike, and we had him at Will, and I think we're going to leave him at Mike and the Sam. And he's had a good camp. He got dinged up a couple weeks ago, hurt some ribs, and slowed him down last week, but has played pretty well tonight so far.
3rd down and 13 now. Lindley's in the shotgun, a back on each side. And whistles will blow this play dead. This is going to be a false start against the Cardinals. So you guys will get back.
False start. Number 15 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You guys will go back late tonight, actually early tomorrow morning. Walk people through the process in terms of what will happen at that point.
Well, we'll get back early, so we'll get back in the office probably around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Look at the film. We'll meet with the coaching staff and then the personnel side. Keith, Kidd, myself, Matt Russell, and John will get together and have to make those tough decisions. Like I said, it's the decisions are much tougher this year than they were last year, which is a good thing for us, meaning that we have a lot of good football players.
3rd down and 18 now. Lindley hands off in the draw to Powell. Powell jitterbugs his way out of the 30-yard line, but good pursuit there by a pack of white jerseys. Florence was there, Johnson, Bush, and Unrein. The Cardinals are going to have to pump this football away. Defensively, when you look, I mean, you've got some interesting decisions at all 3 spots: defensive line, the linebackers, and a really deep secondary.
We really do. That's the good thing is that we talked about this whole offseason. We struggled last year against offenses that spread us out, and so it was an emphasis for us this offseason to get some depth back there and get some more players back in that secondary. We're able to do that. So we, as you said, we do have some tough decisions to make back there.
This is Jim Leonard from the 14. Leonard does a nice job of navigating his way out over the 30-yard line. Dave Zastadil on the punt. We're going to take a timeout with 10:04 to go first half. Cardinals with a 7-0 lead over the Broncos. John Elway will continue to be our guest here, and we'll come back with more on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Back at the University of Phoenix Stadium as we are some 10 minutes and 4 seconds away from halftime. 7-0 Arizona. Dave Logan, Ed McCaffrey, Rod Mackey. We are also joined by John Elway in the booth. Caleb Haney continues at quarterback. He's got Noshawn Moreno behind him. Chris Gronkowski, the offset eye. Noshawn on the stretch play left side. Gets a good block from Gronkowski. Cuts back. Noshawn with a good run there out to the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. So that's a run of some 16 yards and a first down. Let's talk a little bit about Noshawn. I know you have some tough decisions. Here's a guy that was a first-round draft choice not long ago. I mean, how does he factor into your plans, and how tough a decision will that be?
You know what? He's had a good camp, and he came in a little bit heavier this year, and so we can see him. He's been able to take that punishment. He's run a little stronger. And his knee, you know, obviously we started him slow, and his knee took a while for his knee to come back, but it's almost 100% now.
Good run there by Moreno. Line of scrimmage to the 48. Haney looks like he's checking the play. He's under center. They're on a stretch play right side. Noshan jumps up in the air and is greeted by a pair of Cardinal players right at midfield. Linebacker Stuart Bradley with some help from Clark Hagan, his former CSU product. Is he a guy that has to play on special teams to be on this final 53?
I don't think so. That's not been his specialty. You know, he's been a guy that was a starting back, was planning on being a starting back, but he's a guy that can do a lot of different things. He does a good job, as we've seen him run tonight on first and second down, but he's very solid on third down, does a great job in protection, understands what we're trying to do on third down.
Second down now, 2nd and 8. Haney play fakes, steps away from pressure, throws, pass is going to be caught. This is Green, the tight end, who's got a first down and forced out of bounds right at the 30-yard line of the Cardinals. Clark Hagan's had good pressure that time on Caleb Haney. A couple of former CSU products, but Haney with a nice job and a gain of 20.
Holding.
And
Number
a holding
49
call.
on the offense. 10-yard penalty still. 2nd down.
You know, John, we've talked a lot about guys making the team on special teams. One thing we know about Noshan is he doesn't play special teams. How much say-so does special teams coordinator Jeff Rogers have in the selection process?
You know, he has quite a bit. I mean, we want to know, you know, what he thinks of them as special team players, and so we go through the process, talk about the offensive and the defensive sides of the ball, then we go to the special teams, and Jeff takes us through the value of each player on the special teams. Which, you know, if you look at special teams these days, it's a little bit different than it used to be because of the lack of kickoff returns.
2nd and 18 after the holding call, wiped out the 20-yard pass completion. Haney 5-step drop, looks right, throws right. This is going to be Bubba Caldwell out over the 45-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and long. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. 10 seconds coming up next on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Clock at 7:36 and running here, 2nd quarter. Cardinals with that 7-0 lead. Broncos now 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12. Haney's in the gun. Lance ball to his right, trips to the left side. Matthew Willis wide right. Quick throw is caught by Caldwell. He's got a lot of work to do. Makes a nice cut, but going to be forced out of bounds well short of the 1st down. Gain of about 7. Justin Bethel, the rookie out of Presbyterian there for Arizona. Bubba Caldwell, a guy that you signed in the offseason, played with Cincinnati. Got shaken up a little bit, but a veteran receiver.
Yes, and he, you know, struggled a little bit last week. Had a drop last week on a post, but he's come in and done real well in camp. And a guy with tremendous speed, got a chance if you get him some space, can go a long way with it.
He dropped that post, which was a similar route to the one he tried to catch when he got blown up
the week before. So I think it's natural that he struggled with it the next time.
High punt. Parker is going to watch this ball hit at the 6, and it will skip into the end zone for a touchback. John, thanks very much. We'll wish you a lot of luck. There won't be a lot of sleep tonight, but
well, we're anxious to get going and looking forward to getting started for Pittsburgh. And it's going to be a heck of a start Sunday night, Mile High. It'll be. I hope it's going to be a great party.
Absolutely. That's John Elway. Time out of the field with 6:42 to go, first half. 7-0 Cardinals over the Broncos on the Broncos Broadcast Network. In the desert. There'll be a lot of Bronco fans, Eddie, I would think, at various stops for this Broncos team this year.
I think so.
Manning and Decker comparing notes on the sideline as the Cardinals take over at the 20. Here's Powell on a handoff. Runs out of a tackle by Nate Irvin, but going to be pulled down right at the line of scrimmage. That's Jeremy Beal.
How about Manning and Decker? You think Tammy's getting jealous? Decker has been attached at the hip to Manning. You kind of got to be that way with your quarterback. You always have to be on the same page. These guys are always talking, always communicating.
I noticed that you kind of scooted up next to John.
Well, I tried to, but Shannon always got in the way.
2nd and 10. Lindley drops to throw, looks left, floats one. Pass is going to be incomplete. Penalty flag thrown. I tell you, Danny Trevathan had great coverage there on one of the tight ends, Steven Skelton, who's the brother, obviously, of John Skelton. Let's see what the flag is about.
Trevathan ran the route for him. Excellent coverage by Trevathan. He's shown me a whole lot already.
Number 81, ineligibility downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's tight end Jim Dre, who must have been covered at the line of scrimmage. That will cost the Cardinals 5 yards. Yeah, I think Danny Trevathan is, by all accounts, showed well here tonight. And just talking to some of the Bronco coaches, they mention him as a guy they really like. Yes, he's a rookie, but he is, and he's not the biggest guy in the world, but exceptional speed and just great instincts.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he has made the team based on his performance here tonight.
2nd down at 15 now. Lindley on the draw. This is Powell. Powell stiff arms Bush and forced out of bounds by Drayton Florence right at the 20-yard line. So a gain of about 5. Cardinals know who their top 2 backs will be, Beanie Wells and Ryan Williams, who was hurt much of last year.
Malik Jackson gets a hand on him, not quite enough. You know, the Broncos are sitting back in this cover 2 coverage. 2 deep safeties, corners are jamming the receivers and falling off the line, and so they're just drawing the heck out of them.
Cardinals 2 of 5 on 3rd down now. We are under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Lindley in the shotgun. 5-man pressure. Lindley throws, pass caught. It's going to be a 1st down out over the 45-yard line. Nice catch there. That's LaRon Byrd, the rookie out of Miami. Interesting wide receiver, 6'4" and 220. They do like him. Omar Bolden beaten on the play, but a good throw. Lindley, 27 yards to Byrd.
Once again, Broncos sit back in that cover 2 coverage. You got to work the middle of the field. Bolden's responsible for guarding Byrd. Byrd runs a nice route, but even a better throw by Lindley.
First down at 10 now at the 47-yard line of the Cardinals. Outside zone to Powell. Powell's going to be pulled down. Jeremy Beal got there early, then some help from Nate Irving and Danny Trevathan. Malik Jackson as well, loss of 2 on the play.
Check out Beal's quicks. He's backing up Derek Wolfe. Man, plays through the double team, beats 81 Jim Dre for the Cardinals, makes the play. Malik Jackson again is in there. There's another guy that I'm telling you showing great effort and making a run at making the roster.
Yeah, these are guys that are fighting for their spots tonight. Jeremy Beal, of course, was here last year. Nate Irving, the 3rd-round pick. Malik Jackson is, Eddie said, rookie this year. 2nd down at 12. Lindley with a play fake. Pressured and falls down as he's backpedaling away. Inside the 35. Jackson was there, so was Jeremy Beal.
I'll tell you what, the Broncos have their work cut out for them. I don't know how John Fox and his coaching staff is going to decide between Malik Jackson, Jeremy Beal, Danny Trevathan. There's a lot of talented players out here looking to make this team. Once again, looks like Lindley loses his feet a little bit, but once again, Malik, it's easy to lose your feet when you got big Malik Jackson breathing down your throat.
That may be the easiest sack that Malik Jackson gets in his NFL career.
And he will count it.
No question. 3rd and forever. 3rd and 22. Lindley, a back on each side of the shotgun. Throws too high of the check down to Powell. Tony Carter's upset with himself because he might have had a play in the ball. Incomplete, and the Cardinals are going to have to punt this football away with 3:46 to go in the first half.
Broncos got out of that cover 2 for a couple plays, which forced 3rd and long for the Cardinals.
Dave Zastudil punts it away. Matthew Willis back deep. Denver certainly looking for a punt return man. Saquon Thompson, Jim Leonard, Matthew Willis. Nice towering kick. Willis from the 10. Starts right, cuts back left, and is hit down at about the 16-yard line. Punt of 55 yards.
You know, Dave, I haven't seen a lot but I think Jim Leonard so far has showed me the most as a return guy.
Yeah, he's looked good. Coming up at halftime, our TV audience will see a 9 News halftime report, and our radio listeners are going to hear a newscast and first half highlights on 850 KOA and, of course, the Broncos radio network. We're 3:35 away from half. Caleb Haney would like to get something going on offense. 7-0 Cardinals.
To his credit, he's made a couple of good throws. There have been a few drops.
And a couple of costly penalties, too.
Yeah, there have been.
Haney's in the shotgun. Moreno to his right. Fakes the draw. Haney sets, throws. Pass going to be caught. Green's got a first down at the 40-yard line. Virgil Green had a big catch of 20 yards that was wiped out by one of the penalties I was referring to. Justin Bethel is on the tackle, but that's a completion of 22 yards, first down Denver. Virgil Green's going to miss the first 4 games of the season, second year for him.
Little play action fake, works the seam route down the numbers. Excellent throw by Haney.
Under 3 minutes to go first half. Line of scrimmage, the Bronco 41. And movement on that Bronco offensive front will cost them 5 yards.
False start, number 67 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's guard Adam Grant.
I think the Broncos are upset. They're going to be missing Virgil Green for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Grant flinched just a bit.
Just a bit. Man, that's such a tough call. They've been working Grant at both the guard and tackle position. That's a good sign for him. They want to see that he's versatile and can play different spots on the front line.
6'6" and 325 pounds from the University of Arizona. First down and 15 now from the 36. Haney fakes the draw again, hits the check down, no shot. Going to be hit and gang tackle shy of the 45-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of about 4. Broncos trying to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage. Reggie Walker was there for Arizona.
A little check down throw was there earlier. Haney decided to come back to it. Linebackers are dropping pretty deep in cover 3. 3 safeties, linebackers hook curl. That little underneath throw to Moreno's there.
The clock is at 2:04 running. Haney's trying to get him at the line of scrimmage, but is not going to be able to get a snap off. The officials had a tough time separating the players, which cost the Broncos. We're going to take a timeout. John Fox, once again, is not a happy man. 2 minutes left first half from Glendale, Arizona. 7-0 Cardinals over the Broncos on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Back to Glendale, Arizona, University of Phoenix Stadium, home of the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals lead the Broncos 7-0 at the 2-minute mark first half. Caleb Haney's gone the entire way at quarterback for the Broncos. We do expect to see Brock Osweiler at some point tonight. Not sure if we'll see Adam Weber. Second down and 6 as Haney drops to throw. Pressured, runs to his left. And Haney with just enough speed to get the first down close to the Cardinals' 45-yard line. Stuart Bradley was chasing him for what seemed to be ever.
Yeah, sometimes they're just coverage sacks. O-line does an okay job, flushes himself out of the pocket. He's a very athletic quarterback, gets the first down with his feet. Nice heads-up play by Haney.
Quentin Groves in hot pursuit as well. Gain of 11, first down Denver. A pair of receivers on each side. Shotgun for Haney. Pumps once, pulls it down. He's going to be sacked back at the Cardinal 49-yard line. 4-yard loss in the play. And that was Quentin Groves, the big linebacker out of Auburn.
Denver, their second charge timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
No, there's a play where coaches may question whether or not Haney could have stayed in the pocket. He might have been able to move his feet a little bit and continue to look downfield and make a throw. Maybe, maybe not. But that's what they're looking at out of him tonight.
Go behind the scenes at Dove Valley starting Monday, September 10th. Susie Wargen and I host the Broncos Huddle. We're going to spend time with key coaches and players every Monday night at 6 p.m. all season long. You can see it on Channel 20. You can also hear it on the radio on 850 KOA.
Got to point out that None of these guys are being evaluated on their statistics. You look at a quarterback, you're always looking for touchdown passes or completions. Sometimes guys drop balls. Sometimes the offensive line misses a block. I mean, the coaches are evaluating them based on the decisions they make and what they do with what they have.
You see Caleb Haney's number, 6 of 9 for 48 yards. I think that's a good point. Decision-making is very, very important at that spot in any evaluation. 2nd and 13. Haney in the shotgun. Steps, loads. Deep ball is going to be knocked away from the intended receiver. He tried to squeeze the football into Jason Hill. And Michael Adams, 6-year corner out of Louisiana Lafayette with excellent coverage. Incomplete. 3rd down at 13.
Yeah, that time Haney did a good job of standing up in the pocket. You see Jason Hill fighting for the ball. What I like about it is he didn't let Michael Adams come down with the interception. It was a little bit underthrown. He fought for the ball. He made a collision, almost caught it himself, made a catch like Michael Floyd. Didn't quite come up with it. Jason Hill, a guy that has a real good shot at making the roster.
Hill in his 6th season out of Washington State spent his first 4 years as a Niner. 3rd down at 13. Broncos have not converted on 3rd down yet tonight. Throwing the flat is well over the head of Lance Ball, incomplete. David Carter got good penetration that time. Jamel Fleming on the coverage. And with 62 seconds to go in the half, Denver's going to have to punt it away. 5th time that we've seen Britton Colquitt tonight in 5 possessions.
Haney made the right read. He's throwing to a 5'9", 215-pound running back. You got to keep it low with those guys. Usually you have to hit those running backs right in the chest.
Larry Parker, the rookie out of San Diego State, back at the Cardinals' 10-yard line. Colquitt with the reverse end-over-end kick. Parker feels it at about the 12 and picks up about 6 yards before being knocked out of bounds. Jerry Franklin down in the coverage, 37 yards on that punt. Of course, the Broncos, as we mentioned, some interesting decisions to make.
The 2 guys on the left are locks. Obviously, Peyton Manning. They brought in Brock Osweiler to replace Peyton Manning. Caleb Haney and Adam Weber in a tough fight for that 3rd position. If they keep 3 quarterbacks, if they go with 2, Adam Weber's the guy on the practice squad. If they feel like Caleb Haney can replace Peyton Manning early in the season, if something happens, then he will be that 3rd quarterback.
Yeah, I think Caleb Haney has to impress, or Adam Weber, to the point that they keep 3. Quick throw right side. Ball is going to be caught and fumbled. That ball is free, and I think Denver has it. Broncos get a break there and create a turnover in Denver's football at the 22-yard line. That was DeMarco Sampson, the receiver. Raphael Bush has come up with the fumble. Sampson, a 2nd-year pro out of San Diego State.
Tony Carter's playing some serious off coverage, but it looks like it was Steven Johnson that came in and tackled the ball, put his helmet on the football, and caused that fumble. Excellent play by Steven Johnson.
I think Nate Irving, got the fumble recovery.
That was one of the better plays for the Broncos tonight. They're in scoring position. Haney has a chance to lead the team down to the end zone.
So we see if they can get some late first half points from the Cardinals. 21. Haney in the shotgun, Moreno to his right. Quick penetration. Haney is thrown to the turf back at the 30. That's David Carter, who beat Philip Blake, the rookie out of Baylor, so quickly that Haney didn't have a chance to react at all.
Yeah, he had absolutely no time whatsoever. Philip Blake at the right guard spot just completely whiffs.
3rd sack of the night for the Cardinals. That is a loss of 9. 2nd and 19. Haney sets and throws. Pass caught by Green. Green pulls away from one tackler inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, and down to the 6. Virgil Green, making a statement. Reggie Walker on the
Denver,
coverage.
Their 3rd and final timeout.
23 yards.
This is a 30-second timeout.
On that completion. Virgil Green's had a nice first half, Ed.
Excellent first half, and again, Caleb Haney threads a needle on that one. I felt like he was pressing a little bit earlier, but look at Virgil Green make a guy miss and get the ball down the field. He did it a couple of times last year, and again, I believe he's the 3rd tight end on this team, but because he's suspended for a couple of weeks, Julius Thomas or Cornelius Ingram are going to have to hold down the fort till he gets back. But again, good read by Haney. not unlike last week when Haney struggled early, he came on strong near the end of the game. He might have the opportunity to do that tonight at the end of the half.
Clark Higgins could not bring him down, and then a good move on the rookie safety out of Texas, Blake Gideon. First red zone opportunity for Caleb Haney, the Broncos offense tonight. 11 seconds to go. What do you call here?
I want to see Haney throw a touchdown pass. I want to give him an opportunity to throw the ball in the end zone under pressure. Well, maybe they might not be blitzing, but at least in a red zone situation, I want to know that my quarterback that's backing up Peyton Manning can make a play in scoring position.
Broncos are without a timeout. Haney's under center. Two receivers on each side of the formation. They're tight. Quick throw. Right side. Ball for Caldwell is incomplete. Caldwell really didn't have a chance to come down with that football. A.J. Jefferson on the coverage. Little quick fade route, and the ball landed out of bounds. Still 7 seconds to go in the half.
Good. That's good coverage by Jefferson. Caldwell's the guy they think has speed that can stretch the defense. They tried to get him to the corner and use his speed. Usually you throw to a taller receiver in that situation, but they thought Caldwell might be able to get by him. Not so on that play.
Didn't miss by much. Second down, second and goal. Haney, three-step drop, looks right, going to be hit and sacked back at the 15, and that is going to cost the Broncos an opportunity to score before halftime. Reggie Walker, four-year linebacker of Kansas State, and that is the end of the first half. Fourth sack of the first half by the Cardinals on Caleb Haney. So Arizona will trot to the locker room with a 7-0 lead. We're going to have a conversation with head coach John Fox momentarily. Noshawn Moreno walking off with quarterback Caleb Haney. Broncos don't take advantage of great field position late, and they don't even get a chance for a field goal as Caleb Haney sacked to end the first half.
Regular season, they probably kick that field goal, but I tell you what, you got to take a shot with your quarterback when you're evaluating them under pressure. And almost hit Bubba Caldwell. Didn't quite get it in.
Let's head down to the sideline now as Rod Mackey standing by with John Fox.
Okay, thanks, guys. Coach, offense continues to sputter. Noshawn played hard, but still no points from those guys.
Well, I think, Noshawn played good. We didn't start any of our starters and then some. We need to take a look at some of these young guys and see how they produce here as we move into our final cutdown.
Speaking of young guys who impressed, Danny Trevathan on defense seemed to be in on almost every play.
Well, he looks like he's having a pretty decent first half. He's been injured, hasn't played a lot. Last week was his really first time. So, it looks like he's having a pretty productive first half.
Very good, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, guys, send it back up to you.
All right, comments from John Fox. Halftime here in Glendale, Arizona. The Cardinals with a 7-0 lead over the Broncos. This is the Broncos Broadcast Network. Halftime score from Glendale, Arizona. The Cardinals lead the Broncos 7-0. Really, Denver not able to get much of anything going on offense. Even with a golden opportunity right before halftime, taking over inside the Cardinal 20-yard line. You take a look at some of the first half numbers, Ed.
Yeah, pretty uneventful for the Denver Broncos on offense. Caleb Haney, 0 for 5 on third downs, 61 yards rushing. A couple of good runs by Noshawn Moreno. A couple of nice underneath passes by Haney. Nothing down the field, nothing in the red zone. Sacked 4 times. A couple of them he had absolutely no chance whatsoever. Defensive linemen were in his face. Another couple of times, they're going to look to decide whether or not he could have got rid of the ball or not. John Fox obviously talking to him on the sideline, talking about probably what he did well, what he needs to do better. I don't think they've made their mind up with Caleb Haney. He shows flashes of brilliance, and then at other times, you go back to question his decisions. He's a good, hard-working, athletic quarterback, but you see John Fox pointing to his head. Talking about clock awareness or decision making.
Maybe talking there about not taking a sack right before halftime. In Caleb Haney's defense, that was such quick penetration.
You could barely blink your eyes before he was hit. I mean, there was a couple of times he might have been able to get rid of the ball. That was maybe not one of them. Pretty tough to get rid of it in that situation.
Noshawn Moreno's had his moments in the first half. 7 carries for 49 yards, and a guy fighting to stay on this team, I thought, ran with authority.
I thought he ran with authority and he showed strength. He had one big run of 17 yards. He bounced it outside, made a couple of guys miss. The rap on Knowshon is he just doesn't break the big ones. Somehow, some way, they bring him down.
Really, the only big play of the game by either offense. Tremendous catch by Michael Floyd.
Yeah, that's a circus catch. Tony Carter's trying to make a team. He's happy he's the only cornerback out there all day over there, the left cornerback position. But Michael Floyd makes a circus catch. Certainly makes a guy like Lindley on the Cardinals look a whole lot better.
Knowshon Moreno, as I mentioned, 7 carries for 49 yards. The first half stats tabulated by Ide Bailey, CPAs and business advisors. So Knowshon obviously done. Shoulder pads off. You'll probably be looking for a visor right on cue. Knowshon's found his visor. Must be some sort of agreed upon thing. If you're not playing, put the visor on.
If it's free, it's me, Dave. That's the theory. They're handing out free visors. You're taking one.
Good point. A.J. Jefferson is back deep. Third-year return man out of Fresno State. Not going to get a shot here. 9 yards deep in the end zone.
Going back to Caleb Haney, I think he left with no regrets. He came out there, he competed, he played hard, he did the best he could, and he made a run at this thing, and he'll find out tomorrow what his future holds.
There you see the preseason numbers of the new quarterback for the Cardinals, Richard Bartell, 8 of 13 for 130 yards. Now in his 4th season out of Tarleton State. Talking to a few Cardinals people prior to the game, they expect Ryan Lindley to be the 3rd quarterback. But we'll see what Richard Bartell can put on tape here in the second half. He tried a quick throw left side. The receiver never looked. DeMarco Sampson was the intended receiver on a pass never thrown. And thus a sack for the Broncos, their first. Ben Garland.
Looks like there was some kind of miscommunication in the backfield. Ben Garland with a nice big play. Bartell had a running back run into him. Definitely some confusion. You start subbing in guys left and right, get down to the 4th or 5th players who haven't gotten reps in practice, and mistakes happen.
Ben Garland on the reserve military list, both 2010 and 2011, trying to make this football team as an active defensive lineman. Outstanding player at Air Force. Second down now, 2nd and 15. Throw on the right side is caught. DeMarco Sampson with that catch. Hit immediately by Tony Carter. Again, to remind you, it's a special broadcast tonight of Denver Broncos football. We're simulcasting to audiences both on television on Channel 20 and also on 850 KOA and the Broncos radio network.
If I'm Tony Carter right now, I might decide to tighten up that coverage. He's a long shot to make the team. He's playing very far off. I mean, you run the risk of getting burned, but at this point, I think he needs a big play.
You think Tony Carter's a long shot?
I do.
I would say that Tony Carter's got a pretty good shot to make this team. We'll see. 3rd down after the 8-yard gain. In the pocket pass is going to be thrown on the left side. Williams with the catch. It's going to be a 1st down. Omar Bolden on the coverage. That's Isaiah Williams, 1st-year wide receiver out of Maryland. Good throw there by Richard Bartell. You're talking about Tony Carter. Let's take a look at some of the defensive backs and really some interesting decision to be made on the team. Or guys on the left-hand side, obviously, at least we feel have made this team. Some interesting names on the right-hand side.
Well, the guys on the left are going to make the team. The guys on the right, think about it, Dave. If they take 10, only 3 are making the team. David Bruton's going to be a hard guy to get rid of because of what he does on special teams. Jim Leonard is a guy in the return game and at safety who's proven to me already is going to make the team. So then, is it Tony Carter or is it Omar Bolden? They're pretty excited about that 4th-round draft pick this year and Omar Bolden. And between Saquon Thompson, Omar Bolden, and Tony Carter, only one of them's making the team. So, I mean, it's either Omar Bolden or Tony Carter, and I think because of what Omar Bolden can do as a returner and also what he can do maybe as a nickel back, and because he's young, I give him the edge. I mean, of course, I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, we don't have a pipeline into those meetings for sure. I could be wrong as well. William Powell, a gain of 4 on 1st down, 2nd and 6 from the 41. Bartell deep in the pocket, throws a ball a little bit too hot for Skelton, the tight end, to catch. Danny Trevathan on the coverage.
I'll tell you right now, Dave, there's a guy that would make my football team. Danny Trevathan is all over the field in pass coverage, stopping the run. He is all over the place. He's valuable on special teams. Man, they're going to have to take 7 linebackers to keep him, but I think you got to find a way to keep him on the roster.
Right, he's a great special teams guy, and he's a rookie, and obviously the Broncos think highly of him.
Jamie Blatnick almost gets a hand on the ball. Trevathan is just all over the tight end in that pass coverage.
Cardinals 4 of 8 thus far on third down. Here's a 3rd and 6. Four-man pressure. Bartell sets and throws. Pass is caught. A collision at the 40-yard line, but a good job of holding the football. That's LaRon Bird, who took a good shot by Duke Iheanacho, and it's a gain of 19. That ball thrown right in the money.
Yeah, again, work in the middle of the field, which where the opening is in this zone coverage. Nice throw and catch. Nice hit by Iheanacho as well. Good play. Good football play.
Iheanacho trying to make this roster as a backup safety. Rookie out of San Jose State. First down, Cardinals at the 40. Handoff to Powell. Powell stutter steps his way to a gain of maybe 3 to about the 37-yard line. That's where Nate Irving was there for Denver.
Nate Irving's got a real good shot of backing up Von Miller this year. I don't know that Jerry Franklin has shown enough to replace him. Nice job of shedding the block, setting the edge, falling back into the play, and getting in on a gang tackle. Nice play by the Denver Broncos defense.
Irving, the 3rd-round draft choice last year to North Carolina State. 2nd and 7. Powell again with the handoff off the left side, and Powell's going to be inside the 35 to the 34 to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. Malik Jackson.
There's
with
another
help from Duke Iheanacho.
There's another guy, Dave. I mean, Malik Jackson's all over the field. I mean, are they going to keep 9 D linemen and 7 linebackers? Are they only going to keep 8 D linemen? I mean, Malik Jackson may be a guy that can hide on the practice squad. He's only a rookie out of Tennessee, but he's a talented athlete. He might not stay on your practice squad. Someone might swipe him up.
There's one of the guys that will be very, very crucial in making some of those decisions. Defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio. 3rd down and 4. Bartell's in the shotgun. Looks right. Plenty of time. Now decides to run, and a feet-first slide will be short of the 1st down. He got down just in front of the flying Danny Trevathan. You mentioned the defensive line positions. You take a look at the left side, of course, guys that we think should be there. Robert Ayers is kind of an interesting case, but he's on the left-hand side. Unrein, Beal, Jackson, Salinga, Garland, and Blatnick all fighting for spots.
I think Mitch Unrein's going to make this team. He's a great backup to Justin Bannon. Jeremy Beal is ahead of Malik Jackson, but Malik Jackson has the upside.
Jay Feely, an attempt of 50 yards. Plenty of leg. It is wide left, however. Feely's 2nd miss of the game. He hit the left upright from 40 in the 1st half. Time out on the field. 10 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Cardinals continued to lead the Broncos 7-0 on the Broncos Broadcast Network. University of Phoenix Stadium. 3rd quarter action. You take a look at Brock Osweiler, 2nd-round draft choice of the Broncos. First time we've seen him tonight. That's what he's done in the preseason thus far. And this play will be blown dead. We've been joined in the booth by the president of the Denver Broncos, Joe Ellis. Good to see you, Joe. How are you?
Thank you, Dave. Good to be here. Ed?
Hello, Joe.
We'll await find out what this call is about. I want to ask you about Peyton Manning in terms of maybe what he has meant to the club from the business side thus far. Osweiler's first snap. Whistles again. Or just let me ask you about the replacement officials.
Let's talk about Peyton Manning. How about that?
A good idea. So what, I mean, we know, or at least we assume we know what he means from a football standpoint. How about from a business standpoint?
Oh, he's added a lot to the equation. We've had a great year off the field in business, and it's just been terrific to see the support of the fans and season ticket holders and everybody in our community rally around this great acquisition for us.
Osweiler with a handoff. There's 3rd-round draft choice Ronnie Hillman out over the 45 to the 46-yard line. I was talking to you some time ago as we see Peyton Manning, just about you had called it the buzz, kind of the excitement that somebody like that brings.
Yeah, it's not only what he does on the field, Dave, but what he brings to the equation off the field is just the kind of person he is, how he carries himself and presents himself in so many different situations. He's just been a terrific addition.
Gain of 6 by Hillman. 2nd down and 4. Line of scrimmage, the Broncos 46. Hillman again off left guard. Not much there. Knocked down shortly.
Joe, I got to ask you while you're here, what are Pat Bowlen's expectations of the Denver Broncos this year? We've heard from John Fox, we've heard from John Elway, but I know you're his right-hand man. What are his expectations?
Well, first and foremost, he'd tell you Super Bowl or bust. But I think one of the things he'd like to see, Ed, is have us perform better at home, win more games. We've been a little mediocre in terms of our regular season home record, and we've been bad against our division opponents the last 3 years. 1-8 over the last 3 years against Kansas City, San Diego, and Oakland. So we've got to improve there.
3rd down and 2. Hillman, an impressive run, is going to have the first down at the Cardinal 48, hit there by David Carter. That would be one thing when you talk about home field advantage. Is something you've been with the Broncos a number of years. Broncos used to have a significant home field advantage, but if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, even 5 or 6, it hasn't been the case.
No, it hasn't, and we really got to get that back. That was one of the points that John Elway emphasized when he was brought on January a year and a half ago, and he's right. And that's important to Mr. Bowlen. It's important to our fans. They deserve. They've supported us in droves. They've been terrific, and we need to perform better for them in our own building.
Hillman takes the handoff again, his 3rd carry on this series. A run of just a couple. You talked about since John Elway took over. I mean, the transformation of the organization from a player standpoint is startling. You've got 39 new players on this roster from last year and a lot of other changes too.
Yeah, we do. I think he's just brought a whole new culture to the building. I think we might have talked about this last year. Everybody's very positive, and he hired a good man in John Fox to lead us. And I think the players really have rallied around what our program is and what we stand for now, and I think we're on an uptick here, and it's a good thing for us and our fans.
Osweiler drops to throw. The big rookie will run for yardage.
So I got to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
When Cherry Creek is facing off against Valor Christian in the high school postseason, how's the friction going to be in this?
Remember how
booth?
quickly you changed the subject about the NFL referees?
I'm more interested in knowing, it seems like you and Pat Bowlen and John Elway have worked so well together, and you made a big power play move to get Peyton Manning in Denver. What is the secret to the success? You don't always see an NFL guy come into an organization in the front office and click. What has been the secret to the success of that powerful front office team?
Well, I tell you what, I think it's straightforward communication with each other and then with their players. John Fox just has a way about him where he really rallies the players, gets them to play hard for him, and John Elway saw that in him when he hired him, and so together they've really been a good pair for our organization.
Brock Osweiler connecting with college teammate Jarrell Robinson. Flag of the play.
Number 59, illegal hands to the face on the defense. 5 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So that was a completion of 14 yards, tack on 5 yards. Take a look at the rookie. You can see hands to the face there on the left side of your screen. Osweiler, we haven't talked much about him in terms of his athletic ability. Here's a guy that was offered a scholarship to Gonzaga to play basketball.
How about that? Huh?
Pretty good athlete.
Pretty athletic for 6'7".
What couple of things is now, we've got just a break here. What couple of things in the offseason in terms of league-wide were points of emphasis with respect to the 32 teams? Or did you have a couple of things?
No, we did. I mean, this whole issue of player safety continues to evolve, and the league under Roger Goodell's direction is taking a lot of hard looks at making it as safe as they possibly can. And I think there's some good steps in protecting players more diligently than perhaps that had been in the past, and you can kind of speak to that.
Where were they when I was playing, Joe?
But that probably is the single most important initiative that has had been a real point of emphasis for the NFL.
It seems like the Broncos have had an initiative as well. You guys had record-setting attendance at training camp this year, and I've also noticed a lot more alumni around the practice facility, around the stadium.
Mistakes by 5 yards. 1st and 10 at the 28. The penalty was declined. First down.
Is that something that you guys have tried to do over the last couple of years, is engage with the fans a little more, engage with the alumni?
I think, well, first with the fans, they engaged with us. The credit goes to them. 81,000 showed up between our day at the stadium and all the days at Dove Valley, and they've rallied around us, and we owe them all the credit there. In terms of second question, I forgot.
Yeah, well, the fans are just honestly, The alumni.
The alumni,
It really
that's right. I'm
seems
sorry.
like not just the fan support, but alumni are coming back. And I don't know if that ties in with John being part of the organization, but it just seems like there's a real family there in Denver between the front office, the players, the coaches, the fans that are coming out to watch the guys practice and play. And now even the alumni are coming back. It seems like things have moved in a positive direction over the last couple of years.
I'd agree. I think the second part of that, the alumni, it starts with John Elway, but John Fox has a lot of respect for what our organization's tradition and history is, and he welcomes that to the building as well. So we've had a lot of you guys around, and it's fun for everybody in the organization. It's fun for the players, you know. Got a lot of great players that played for this organization in the past.
Jeremiah Johnson, a run of 2 yards. Brock Osweiler on a boot, an incomplete pass. It brings up a 3rd down and 8.
And a lot of them are around. You know, they love Denver. They stay after they're done. And
Pretty good place to live.
It certainly is.
So more so than most cities. A lot of guys stick around.
Absolutely.
Brock Osweiler is in the shotgun, a pair of receivers on each side. 3rd and 8, line of scrimmage, the Cardinals 26. 4-man pressure. Osweiler sets and slings it left side. It's going to be picked off. Down the far sideline, that ball is picked off, and Arizona's going to have it. Cresdon Butler, a 3rd-year cornerback from Clemson, stepped in front of the Brock Osweiler pass in the flat, and the Cardinals will keep the Broncos out of the end zone. Joe, thanks for coming by. Good to see you.
Dave, thank you. Thanks, Ed.
President Joe Ellis. Time out on the field, 5:40 left, 3rd quarter. 7-0 Cardinals on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Talking to Brock Osweiler, who's just thrown an interception.
Yeah, shotgun formation, single back. He's got plenty of time to throw. No pressure. He had time to set his feet and throw the ball. And Greg Orton doesn't quite break that one up, and just an ill-advised throw by Brock Osweiler.
Orton looked like he was sitting there for a while. Maybe a little bit later, the route was short. Here's a deep throw. Wide open receiver. It's going to be caught inside the 20-yard line. This is the biggest play of the game. Ball completed to Isaiah Williams. It's a completion of 50 yards, and Richard Bartell, a nice throw there. Raphael Bush beaten on the play.
Looks like the Cardinals have their own quarterback battle. Ryan Lindley played pretty well, but Richard Bartell's not given up just yet. Just a simple play-action fake. Not a lot of pressure. Sidquan Thompson gets beat deep. Raphael Bush doesn't quite get over to help him out. Makes a little inside-out move. Sidquan's got to stay with him. Safety gets caught out of position. Can't help him out. Nice throw and catch.
Biggest play of the game thus far. Handoff left side. First carry for Alphonso Smith, the 3rd-year running back out of Kentucky. Danny Trevathan there for the Broncos. It was last year where Sidquan Thompson actually in this game, actually in this building, tore his Achilles tendon. So Sidquan now trying to not only come back completely from the Achilles tendon tear, but also find a way to make this football team. 7th round draft choice back in 2010. 2nd down and 12 after the loss of 2. Bartell drops to throw. He's going to be submerged back at the 18-yard line. I'll tell you, Ben Garland was there. Got some help from Silver Salinga.
I think Jim Dre and Isaiah Williams, the tight end and wide receiver for the Cardinals, ran into each other. That's where Bartell was looking. He had nobody to throw to. There's Silver Salinga. He's a big, strong guy. Trying to show what he's got.
That's quarterback Richard Bartell. We'll come back and check him out. 4:01 to go, 3rd quarter. 7-0 Arizona over Denver on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Ryan Lindley, the rookie, back in. See how he was shaken up on the scramble right up the middle.
Yep.
May have just taken a knee right in the back.
He's caught in the Malachi crunch between Silver Salinga and Jamie Blatnick. I think Blatnick hit him with the knee, and then Salinga finished him off.
Malachi crunch. 3rd and 15 now. Lindley back of the game, sets up the screen, well defended by the Broncos. Blatnick knocked it away from the intended receiver. Good pressure that time from Malik Jackson. Javaris James, the intended receiver. By the way, each week 850 KOA and the Broncos Radio Network brings you exclusive interviews with Peyton Manning, John Fox, John Elway, and Willis McGahee. If you missed an interview, you can hear it on demand at 850KOA.com. So Jay Feely, who's had 2 misses tonight, one wide left from 50, the other hit the left upright from 40. Cardinals are a player short. Snap clock is at 7. They're not going to get this thing off.
Delay of game, number 3 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, Feely gets the penalty too. He can't win. He needs this one, man. He needs a little confidence going into the regular season.
Yeah, Jay Feely's been around 12 years from the University of Michigan. From the 31, an attempt to 41 yards. Again, plenty of height and distance, and finally, Feely is good. 10-0 Arizona. Jay Feely from 41 yards out with 3:28 to go in the 3rd. We'll take a time out of the Broncos Broadcast Network. Jeffrey and Rod Mackey from Glendale, Arizona. Bronco fans here. Colts fans who become Bronco fans here. Cardinal fans who are Bronco fans are here.
I'm wondering if they flew some of these guys in. I swear I sat behind that heavyset guy on the plane.
Well, I'm sure he appreciates that.
Yeah, there's a lot of orange jerseys out there. That's all I'm saying.
Feely, does he give Bolden a chance? Yes, he does. Bolden with some room to run. The rookie from Arizona State. Down the sideline, Omar Bolden steps out of a tackle. May have stepped out of bounds, but into the end zone. I see no call about stepping out. That is a 102-yard return for a touchdown. Omar Bolden, the 4th-round draft choice out of Arizona State.
He's been waiting for it all preseason. He finally got his chance. Finally gets his chance to return it. Feely, he's not Feely so well today. He's having a rough day. Tries to make the tackle on Bolden. Does a great job right here at keeping his feet. Gets hit in the shin. Starts to trip. Catches his balance.
Right.
Oh, it's really close, but I don't think you take that back. Great return by Omar Bolden.
Bolden tripped up.
Great balance by Bolden.
Very close.
That's a touchdown.
We've got a timeout on the field. 3:13 left. 3rd quarter action. The Broncos on the board. Down 10-6 on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Getting congratulations on the Broncos sideline. The play is under review as it stands. A 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Take a look.
Bolden's been waiting to get a good return all preseason. He follows the wedge, gets nice blocking up front. Good block by Sidquan Thompson, but right here, he outruns the coverage. Feely doesn't have a chance. Gets hit in the foot right here, almost loses his balance. I got to give Jarrell Robinson, check it out. I got to give him an assist for pulling Bolden back in bounds, although he stiff arms Robinson in the face. Still goes 102 yards and scores. I think this one stands.
I do too. Robinson and Bolden, of course, last year both playing college football in Tempe with the Arizona State Sun Devils. Here's the replay decision.
After review, the play stands as called. Touchdown.
That's 3 for 3, Dave, on the season for me. Had a good preseason.
Congratulations, Ed.
By the way, you might have seen 2 guys who just made the team. Not only Bolden, but also Jarrell Robinson, who had a nice catch earlier and is showing that he can be a decent special teams player. If he makes a team, he is a sleeper, but he has a chance. I'm not ruling him out just yet. At 6'4", 222, he's a pretty talented receiver.
Yeah, Omar Bolden, I think, was clearly going to make the team anyway. 4th-round draft choice. Keep in mind, he's the guy we talked about earlier that tore his ACL before the season last year, missed the entire year, and yet was a 4th-round pick this year of the Broncos. Down to the sideline, Rod Mackey standing by with Champ Bailey.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Hey, but Omar Bolden can move.
Oh, yeah. You know, I heard about how fast he is. but I've been waiting to see him open up like that. You know, it's good to see it. I'm glad he got his first one.
You know, funny thing is, I know he went to ASU, so maybe that's why these fans are cheering. But you look into the stands, you guys are America's new team because there is orange out there everywhere.
Yeah, I felt like we were at home because once they confirmed that it was a touchdown, you know, I expected to hear boos, but I hear a bunch of cheers. So, you know, our fans always travel well.
Champ, I know you played a long time, but how excited are you for this season, knowing what this team has the potential to do?
Well, the potential is great. You know, I'm excited because, you know, we got a shot, and that's all I want. You know, every year we have a shot, but when you got a guy like Peyton at quarterback and a defense that's getting as good as we can get, I mean, the sky's the limit. We just got to go out and make sure we take care of business every day.
Awesome, Champ. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Well, Champ Bailey's been waiting for this. You see Peyton Manning. Bailey, of course, going into his 14th season. You get to a point, Eddie, and you would know this too, where every single year becomes a premium because you're running out of time for realistic shots at the playoffs and beyond.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Champ Bailey wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win it this year. There's no guarantee next year.
Matt Prater, who led the National Football League in touchbacks last year at 70%, bounces one in the end zone. This is William Powell. Powell with a good run. Penalty flag thrown as he's hit down at the 20-yard line. Sidquan Thompson was there for the Broncos.
Personal foul, face mask, number 89 on the kicking team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's wide receiver Greg Orton. You'll take a look and see on the right-hand side of your screen. Yep. Oh, my. That's one they hardly ever miss.
Yeah, Greg Orton and Jarrell Robinson fighting to make the team, trying to show what they can do on special teams. They're doing everything they can out there. Sometimes those penalties happen.
3:02 to go third quarter, 10-7 now, Cardinals with the lead. Lindley continues at quarterback. Handoff left side, that's Alfonso Smith. Omar Bolden with the tackle. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. 10 seconds coming up next on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Gain of about 7 brings up a second down and 3. Lindley replaces Richard Bartell. Lindley went the entire first half. Bartell was scheduled to play the entire second half, but was shaken up. So the rookie out of San Diego State is back. Malik Jackson flushes him to his right. Lindley throws in the run. It's going to be a completed pass and will be enough for a first down. He found one of the backup tight ends, Steven Skelton, first year out of Fordham. Salinga had good pressure that time. So did Malik Jackson, but a nice throw on the run.
Yeah, this takes a 7-step drop, avoids a little bit of a rush, extends the play, makes an excellent throw on the run. That's a tough break for Richard Bartell because Lindley's coming back in, took the visor off, and is playing well again.
First and 10, line of scrimmage the 46. Double tight end set now. Handoff hit behind the line of scrimmage. Alfonso Smith was hit immediately by Jamie Blatnick. Haven't talked much about him. Blatnick trying to make this team, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, 6'3" and 265.
Yeah, the Cardinals went with an unbalanced line, but someone forgot to tell somebody to block Jamie Blatnick. I like his energy. I like his drive. I think he's the type of guy they can hide on that practice squad, develop him, put some weight on him, and see what he does in a year.
Second down and 12. Lindley 3-step drop. The pass on the right side is going to be incomplete. Tried to get the football to DeMarco Sampson. Sidquan Thompson with a nice break on that football. Although a pass that should have been caught brings up a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, both Sidquan Thompson and Tony Carter are playing pretty far off the wide receiver. They could take these underneath routes all day. I will say he broke on the ball extremely fast. He is quick at 5'9", 191 and a good return guy. He is speedy, but might want to tighten up that coverage just a little.
Cardinals 5 of 11 on third down tonight. Here's a 3rd and 12 from their own 44. Lindley in the shotgun. Hits one of the underneath crossing routes. Alfonso Smith going to be well short of the first down. Hit there by Steven Johnson. Under a minute to go, third quarter, and the Cardinals are going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Broncos are letting them have all those underneath throws. They're just counting on making the tackle if they complete it. Come up well short of the first down. Nice tackle by Steven Johnson. Cardinals are forced to punt.
Tony Carter is back deep as the Broncos continue to try to find who will be returning punts this year. Dave Zastudil gets pressured and doesn't get a very good kick. Hits at the 20. He's going to take a favorable roll, however. Picked up at the Bronco 5. It'll turn out to be a 45-yard punt. And the Broncos will start from their 5-yard line. Sundays this fall, the 9 News Sports team will be up early to get you ready for kickoff. Broncos Game Day Live starts Sunday, September 9th at 10 a.m. on Channel 20. We'll speak weekly to John Elway and John Fox, as well as key players before they hit the field.
You know, that last Cardinals punt, Jeremiah Johnson was the guy that got his hand in on the play. They're not giving him the ball at running back. He's trying to show them what he can do on special teams.
So Brock Osweiler and company will start at their own 5-yard line. Hillman takes the handoff, a nice nifty move, and Hillman gets the edge, and the speedster from San Diego State shows that speed. Rolled out of bounds at the 19-yard line. That's a 14-yard gain. Justin Bethel there, but what an exceptional move. Quick feet by Ronnie Hillman. We have come to the end of the third quarter from Glendale, Arizona. Arizona Cardinals lead the Denver Broncos 10-7. Fourth quarter action ahead on the Broncos Broadcast Network. An exciting young player this year for the Broncos, the 3rd-round draft choice out of San Diego State. How about this run, Ed?
Yeah, reminds me a little of Clinton Portis. Bends it back, makes one guy miss. Goes up the field, makes 2 more guys, and then turns on the Jets. Almost turns the corner.
Great patience on that inside zone run. Fourth quarter, first snap, and Hillman takes it again. One cut too many there. Hillman out to the 23-yard line. Antonio Coleman there for Arizona. And Ronnie Hillman, only 2 years in San Diego, playing with San Diego State. You can see, though, 2 fairly productive years. 1,711 yards last year. Keep in mind that with 311 carries. Now, this was a very productive guy, and yet even not that big, somebody that did not wear down running the football a lot. 15 100-yard games in his career in 2 years. 3 times he went over 200 yards. Here he comes again. Steps out of a tackle and not pulled down as he rolls into the Broncos sideline. Ed, the Broncos really liked him, obviously. When you see some of the things he did in the San Diego State offense, some of the runs he made, this is against the University of Missouri.
Yeah, what's to like about this? Breaks 3 or 4 tackles, keeps his legs pumping, and then once he is past the secondary, he is gone. He's got speed, not just straight on speed, but lateral speed and great vision. Oh, I almost got caught. Come on, Hillman. No, he's an excellent back, and they're expecting big things from him this year.
This is Jeremiah Johnson with the carry, and Johnson burst over left tackle with a huge run out over the 40-yard line of the Broncos. Justin Bethel on the tackle, but Jeremiah Johnson making his case.
These Broncos coaches are going to have a tough job tonight. Jeremiah Johnson is an extremely fast, explosive back. Again, it's a numbers game. They may only take 3 running backs, in which case, between Ronnie Hillman, Lance Ball, Nosha Marino, and Jeremiah Johnson, 2 of them have to go. The talent level is so close among some of these positions.
Well, Ronnie Hillman's not going anywhere. 16-yard run by Jeremiah Johnson. Double tight end set, Osweiler play fakes, slides away from pressure, and then throws a strike to his college teammate, Jarrell Robinson. Robinson with a nice move is knocked down at the 40-yard line. Michael Adams there for Arizona. 2 good things there. The pressure avoided just with sliding up into the pocket, and then the strike he threw 16 yards to Robinson. First down, Denver.
He's got a cannon for an arm. I think he's getting better with his fundamentals. He's got a great guy to learn from. Little play action fake. See how he keeps his feet moving? Gets his alignment step. And I'm telling you right now, Jarrell Robinson, this guy is making a push to make the team. Seems like a much better game player than a practice player.
First down, Denver. Hillman running hard is going to pick up a tough couple right off of right guard.
You know, with Omar Bolden's return for a touchdown, the Broncos may decide that they can count on him to return the football. So when you look at stock of players, what does that say about Sidquan Thompson? What does that say about Tony Carter? What does that say about Matthew Willis? All guys that have to contribute on special teams to make the team as backups.
Yeah, good point. Denver not only looking for somebody in the secondary there in case, or with respect to Omar Bolden, but his return ability makes it difficult for some of the other guys vying for that spot. Osweiler at the play fake, pumps once, rolls to his right, finds Greg Orton, who tiptoes right on the sideline. They will say that is a catch, about a yard shy of the first down. Cresdon Butler there for Arizona.
Another great job by Osweiler. Moves around, extends the play, throws a laser. I mean, this is something you just can't teach. He's got a rocket for an arm. That ball's getting there awfully fast. Great job by Orton keeping his feet in bounds and coming down with the catch.
Osweiler last year in Tempe threw for 5,082 yards, 33 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Third down and 2. Handoff to Hillman. Nice stutter step, and Hillman's got the first down at the 25-yard line. You talk about a natural zone runner. Hillman gives you every indication that that's the case. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 2.
The key in running these inside and outside zones is your ability to see the hole and make one cut and get up the field. And you see him do a great job of it right there. Sees the hole, plants with his right foot, gets up the field, breaks one tackle, and he's to the house.
You played with a pretty good zone runner.
One of the best.
Terrell Davis, one of the all-time greats. Clock under 11 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Handoff to Hillman. And the shifty back with another couple of nice moves. He's going to work himself close to the 15, where Larry Parker is there. You should be familiar with Parker. He and Hillman teammates last year in San Diego State.
You know who else Hillman played with was number 14, Ryan Lindley of the Cardinals. Maybe they should put Hillman on defense and Lindley might throw him the ball. It's worth a try in the preseason, Dave.
2nd down and 1. Here's Jeremiah Johnson. Broncos continue to get good surge up front by 2nd and 3rd teamers. Johnson for a healthy game. Blake Gideon on the tackle after a run of 6. So we get back to an interesting dilemma for some of these guys. Noshawn Moreno and Ronnie Hillman, and I don't think Moreno actually is competing against Hillman. I think Hillman is a lock to make this team. Noshawn Moreno's had his moments in this preseason. The question is, has he had enough?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be tough. Unless they keep 4 running backs, Noshawn may be for overcoming adversity and healing up from his surgery. Willis McGahee is the running back on this football team. Lance Ball runs well between the tackles. Ronnie Hillman is a speed back who can make big plays in space. Noshawn's caught somewhere in between. It's going to be, after tonight and seeing what Hillman can do, because we haven't seen a lot of him, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Noshawn to make the roster.
Yeah, Hillman's a guy that you want to get in space, but I think clearly with his play in college and even injured here in training camp, he's shown the ability to run between the tackles. Here's a 2nd down, 2nd and 8. Osweiler in shotgun, pumps once, throws, pass going to be deflected and incomplete in the end zone. Orton and Robinson, 2 Bronco receivers, were standing side by side. Colin Parker, rookie out of Arizona State, got his hand on that football, brings up a 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, it looked like Osweiler decided he wanted to go there, and he kind of forced the throw. There were 2 guys there. There were 3 DBs. Thought he would have looked at that man-to-man coverage on the left side with Jason Hill. Looks like he's pressing a little bit and forced that one in there.
3rd and goal here. Osweiler's going to reset Orton from left to right, trying to hurry before the snap clock runs out. Shotgun. Takes the snap. Flushed up in the pocket. Can run. He's at the 5. Osweiler is going to be hit as he's knocked down just shy of the goal line. Inside the 1 by Justin Bethel.
Osweiler was a basketball player in high school and college.
Pretty athletic move
He's
here.
pretty for a 6'7", 240-some pounder, man. He zigs, he zags, he gets up the field. He thinks he's going to score right here, but he gets wrapped up. Good speed, good agility for a guy that size.
So the Broncos will not go for it here, down 10-7, and Matt Prater will see the ball spotted at the 9, an attempt of 19 yards. Prater knocks it through, and we are tied at 10 with 8:14 to go in this football game. Timeout on the field from University of Phoenix Stadium. Tied at 10 in the fourth quarter on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Certainly the drive of the game for the Broncos. Brock Osweiler sitting by offensive coordinator Mike McCoy. 94 yards in 14 plays. 7 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. Even though they don't get it in, Matt Prater from 19 yards out ties this football game at 10.
See the quarterbacks talking there in the sideline. You know what I like about these guys is they're all friends. They root for each other. They understand their role on the team. They've got Peyton Manning as the superstar. Osweiler is the understudy. Haney and Weber as potential backups. It's a shame that one of them has to go.
Cardinals will start from their 20-yard line with 8:14 to go in this football game. We are tied at 10 between Denver and Arizona on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Talking to Joel Dreesen, Peyton has said this week that one of the things he'd be doing tonight would be to see how Arizona plays defensively, some of the concepts they employ. Keep in mind Ken Wisenhunt, who's been here now 6 years, came from Pittsburgh and worked with Dick LeBeau. Peyton said they brought some of the same traits and schemes that the Steelers have. Of course, regular season opener a week from this Sunday night, Steelers in Denver against the Broncos. First down handoff, and Alfonso Smith is going to be pulled down. Good open field tackle there by Omar Bolden. Bolden earlier, a 103-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Plenty of battles. We've been talking about them throughout the course of our telecast and broadcast. Linebackers with Miller, Mays, Woodyard, and Brooking, one would think, on the team. Look at the other side. Guys battling to make this roster, Eddie.
Yeah, I think there's a real good chance the Broncos take 7 linebackers. I think Jerry Franklin and Steven Johnson are going to have a tough time unseating Nate Irving and Mike Muhammad. But Trevathan has shown me something today, Dave. I think he makes the roster.
Yeah, I think they liked him even before tonight. Sidquan Thompson, a good tackle there of DeMarco Sampson. Reception will give the Cardinals a first down, gain of 8.
You know, I can see Mike McCoy fighting for the guys on offense, Jack Del Rio fighting for the guys on defense. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to cut some guys tomorrow.
Mike McCoy, you see him on the sideline, handoff there, not much for Alfonso Smith. McCoy, we talked to earlier in the preseason, talking about what the Broncos offense will look like this year. Vastly different to what Bronco fans saw last year for sure when you got a guy like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I think he got what he wanted this year. I mean, I give him credit for being very creative and versatile last year, changing an entire offense in the middle of the season. That is hard for an offensive coordinator to do. He said the key to being a successful offensive coordinator is 1, having a star quarterback. He has that in Peyton Manning. And 2, having balance. And I think with Willis McGahee and the O-line, he has got that. I think he's pretty excited about this season.
Clock running, 6:20 to go in this game. We're tied at 10. Second down at 10, Arizona. Snap, Lindley throws. Pass is going to be intercepted by Sidquan Thompson. Thompson gets up off the turf and is going to be tackled as he crosses the 30-yard line. The receiver wasn't even looking back to the football. Stephen Skelton on the tackle, but Sidquan Thompson goes low to make the interception, a return of 12 yards, and Denver with 6:08 to go in position to take the lead.
Big time play by Sidquan Thompson. Didn't just catch it, got up and got some yardage.
You can see it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it looked like Williams thought maybe it was a running play. That's one of those tough things about being a quarterback. Your receiver doesn't look for the ball.
It's impossible. Timeout on the Broncos Broadcast Network. 6:08 of this game. We're tied at 10. Sidquan Thompson with an interception, the second of the preseason by the Broncos. And Denver will start from their 29-yard line. Ronnie Hillman off the left side for 3 yards. This is an interception that we were talking about. Frankly, you got to make the receiver not even looking for the ball.
Yeah, I don't know that you can blame that one on Lindley. The receiver doesn't even turn, thinks it's a run. But great job by Sidquan Thompson, man. Not a lot of DBs have good hands. He does a great job of catching the ball, getting up the field, and making a great play. Big play for Sidquan in week 4.
Second down and 6. Hillman some 6 yards behind Brock Osweiler, who's under center. Flags and whistles. This is going to be a false start against Denver.
False start, number 67 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Adam Grant, second false start of the night. Left side of your screen, second just small flinch.
I'll tell you what, Adam Grant's got a little case of the Jimmy legs, Dave. I mean, he's barely moving. It's almost like just an instinctive reaction. It's hard to sit in there, but as an O-lineman, you just have to do it.
Especially hard to sit in there when you have different quarterbacks in the game. You get used to a cadence, a rhythm from one guy, and no matter how hard they try, the other guy's a little bit different. Pass on the right side is into and out of the hands of Greg Orton and Michael Adams, with pressure from his corner spot. Brings up a third down and 11.
Osweiler did a really good job of getting rid of this ball with the blitz off the corner. That's a tough catch, and it was thrown pretty hot and heavy, but Greg Orton probably got to come down with it when it hits your hands.
Broncos are 4 of 4. The last 4 times they've converted on third down. They started the game 0 for 5. Here's a third and 11. Osweiler's in the gun. 2 receivers on each side. They run the draw. Jeremiah Johnson stutters and stops and works his way to about the 25-yard line. He's hit down by Brandon Williams.
Well, this is probably the 50th draw we've seen run by the two teams today. They're rushing for dropping cover. Jeremiah Johnson, good job of getting what he can get in that defense. Teams are running the draw because the zone coverages are dropping back, and you can pick up a couple nasty yards on that draw play, but neither team wants to show anything that they plan on doing during the regular season week 1.
So Matt Prater is going to try to break this tie and attempt a 43 yards. Snap placement, Prater with plenty of height, and it is good. Matt Prater from 43 yards out, his second field goal of the game, and with 4:25 to go in the fourth, the Broncos have their first lead of this game at 13-10. We'll take a timeout on the Broncos Broadcast Network. His team has bounced in front. Matt Prater, a 43-yard field goal, giving the Broncos their first lead of this game, 13-10 with 4:25 left.
Still feels good to win, even in week 4 of the preseason. John Fox is still out there coaching, still out there evaluating talent. Nice to have a guy like Matt Prater on your team.
Been a huge weapon for the Broncos the last few years. Here's a kickoff that William Powell, some 5 yards deep in the end zone, decides to bring out. Powell runs through 2 tackles, and now it's a foot race. Tony Carter's chasing him, and Carter ran him down. Otherwise, this was going to go to the Bronco end zone. 38-yard line after the 43-yard return. Down to the sideline, Rod Mackey standing by with Broncos wide receiver Eric Decker.
Okay, Dave, thanks a lot. So the most popular question you've gotten all preseason is, and I'm going to ask it again, your thoughts on Peyton Manning as you get ready for the whole real deal now. You've seen the progress from him.
It's been great. You know, every game we've gotten better at executing, offensively, and I think we're comfortable with where we're at. We're still building, and we're just excited to get out there for Pittsburgh.
I know every team at this point of the season thinks they can be something special, but because of number 18 and because what you've seen from your defense, even more so, Eric?
He's a good slice of the pie, I'll tell you that much. I think having him around has made us better as a team, but obviously you got to go out there week by week, and our schedule this year is tough. So, our focus right now is just making sure we get number 1 versus Pittsburgh.
Very good. Good luck against Pittsburgh and the rest of the way.
Appreciate you.
All right, Eric, thanks. Guys, up to you.
I've heard Peyton Manning described in many different ways, but I've never heard him called a good piece of the pie. although accurate description. Pass almost intercepted. That was Tony Carter, who got a good break in the football, intended for Isaiah Williams. Incomplete. It brings up a 3rd down and 10.
Tony Carter's played well tonight. He got beat once by that circus catch by Michael Floyd, but he's a quick, fast DB. He's been all over the receivers in coverage, played off a couple of times, but look how fast he breaks on the ball. Isaiah Williams doesn't really come back for it, but Tony Carter's played well. He's a sticky, quick DB. I just think there's so much competition at that DB spot. It's going to be tough for a couple of these guys to crack the lineup.
3rd and 10. Ryan Lindley in the shotgun. Sets and throws. Carter again makes a break in the football and again knocks it away from the intended receiver. This time it was DeMarco Sampson. I think Tony Carter is a guy that is right there. This is going to be strictly a numbers game with respect to Carter and his ability to make the team. Excellent coverage, man, for sure. And now he drops back to take a shot at returning this punt.
No doubt about it, Dave. Tony Carter is right there competing for a job. I'll tell you, it would be something if he takes this back to the house. That would put pressure on them to make a decision between him and Bolden, but they like them both. You got to choose. It's tough, but you got to choose.
4th punt of the night for Dave Zastigal. Not a good one at all. Carter makes the catch at the 19, breaks out of 2 tackles and leans the football to the 29. A good return there by Tony Carter. The punt of 42 yards, the return of 9. And the Broncos have 3:48 to kill to get out of here with a victory. Hey, go behind the scenes at Dove Valley starting Monday, September 10th. Susie Warden and I host the Broncos Huddle. We'll spend time with key coaches and players every Monday night at 6 p.m. And we'll do that all season long. You can see it on Channel 20. You can also hear it on the radio on 850 KOA. Adam Weber is in for the first time tonight. Weber turns and hands to Ronnie Hillman right off of right guard. Hillman out to about the 32. Gain of close to 5. That's where Ronald Pally, the 2nd-year defensive end out of Delaware, is there for the Cardinals.
Greg Orton and Jarrell Robinson are both in the game. 2 big targets. Adam Weber in at quarterback. He's got some big targets to throw to. These guys can run routes versus zone, out jump DBs down the sideline.
Adam Weber we haven't talked much about. It's been an interesting battle with Haney and Osweiler. Weber's had his moments, not only in preseason but in training camp.
The coaches are very high on him. I think it's very comparable between him and Haney.
2nd down and 7. Handoff to Hillman again, who runs right behind fullback Chris Gronkowski off that right side.
We weren't sure we were going to see Weber. I mean, I don't think there's time enough for him to do much right now. He's a guy they could still put on the practice squad. Again, I don't put a lot into preseason stats, but I tell you what, Brock Osweiler's interception may have boosted Caleb Haney's stock. They might not feel quite comfortable that he's ready to start the season as the backup if something happens to Peyton. So this is going to be a tough call. Do you keep 2 quarterbacks? Do you keep 3? Do you put Weber on the practice squad? Maybe you keep all 4.
3rd down and 4. Denver would love to stay in the field and close this thing out as we approach the 2-minute warning. Handoff to Hillman. Hillman is going to be about a half-yard short, I think. Antonio Coleman out of Auburn in his 3rd NFL season on the tackle.
Arizona, their first charge timeout.
And the Cardinals
This
will
will
use
be a 30-second timeout.
their first of 3 timeouts, stopping the clock at 2:12. Obviously wanting to take advantage of the 2-minute warning. Hey, if you missed any of tonight's game or you'd like to see it again, you can see the game replay this Sunday. That'll be at 6 p.m. on Channel 20.
You know, Dave, I can't help it. I know we're members of the media now, but, you know, I walk through the hotel again, man, and I get emotional. Some of these guys are going to have to clean out their locker tomorrow, go home to their wife and kids. This isn't one of them. This guy obviously is on the team, but he told us how important he knew this preseason was for the other guys on the team. And, you know, some people are going to pick up the phone and call everyone they know and tell them they made it, and other guys are going to say their goodbyes. It's a tough 24 hours.
No question. Michael Adams is back deep as Britton Colquitt gets a foot into this one. High punt. Adams is knocked over by David Bruton. Here come penalty flags. This is going to cost the Broncos a 48-yard punt. Bruton got there just a little bit too early.
Bruton's the first guy down the field on almost every special teams. He is fast. He got there a little too fast that time, but again, the guy has been phenomenal all preseason. He's all over the place on special teams. I don't think he got pushed into the returner. I think they're probably going to leave that flag on the ground and mark off the yardage.
Probably trying to determine exactly where the foul took place.
Fair catch, interference. Number 30 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So that certainly will give the Cardinals a boost in terms of starting field position with 2:01 to go. You can see Bruton was not pushed and just got there a little bit early and couldn't get out of the way.
I'll tell you what, as a former fifth-string gunner, you got your head on a swivel and you're watching out for that guy clipping you from the side. So he tried to get in position to not get hit from the side and came up with a penalty.
Break for the Cardinals here as they'll get a snap before the 2-minute warning. Lindley in the shotgun, pumps once, throws deep. He's got a wide open receiver. This is going to be a big play down the sideline. That ball is hauled in by Isaiah Williams. Sidquan Thompson beaten on the play. This is going to be a first down all the way to the Broncos' 13-yard line. A completion of 56 yards as we take a timeout for the 2-minute warning. 13-10 Denver with 1:50 to go in this football game. We'll take a timeout on the Broncos Broadcast Network. Had an interception, went for one on this last play, and it was a 56-yard reception. Eddie, hitch and go.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been corners coverage. Raphael Bush reacted to the run or the quick pass, and Sidquan Thompson just gets caught with a double move. He's got that deep quarter of the field with no safety help whatsoever.
First down now, 1st and 10 from the Denver 13-yard line. First trip of the game for the Cardinals into the red zone. Lindley takes the snap, throws the ball. It's going to be deflected and almost intercepted. And again, a receiver, this case, LaRon Byrd, really never made an effort to catch that football. It was bounced around, fell to the turf, incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Seems to be a lot of confusion between Lindley and some of the receivers. He looked for it. It just went right through his hands. It didn't look like he had looked at the ball, but apparently he did, and he just, he tried to catch it with his chest. He didn't get his hands out in front of him, and it went right through.
Lindley, one of his last 6. Of course, that one went for 56. 2nd down and 10. 5-man pressure. Lindley sets and throws. Ball's going to be caught. Good coverage there by Omar Bolden. A nice catch by LaRon Byrd, but short yardage on the play. Only a gain of 1. 3rd down and 9.
I like it. The Broncos bring Steven Johnson around the edge or put a little pressure on Lindley. They're not going to give it to him easily. They make him earn it.
Clock is running, 1:22 and counting. Denver trying to protect a 3-point lead. Lindley backs into the shotgun. Snap clock is at 8. Cardinals jump, and this is going to cost them 5 yards. So now the line of scrimmage will be the 17, 3rd down and 14.
False start on the offense.
Yep, there we go again.
DJ Young, the left tackle.
Gets the Jimmy legs. It's tough in these pressure situations. Some of these backup players, DJ Young backing up the Anthony Batiste there, they don't get as much playing time, and they've been in a long time. They get a little tired. Like you mentioned, they have different quarterbacks with different cadences, and sometimes they get a little itchy.
3rd down and 14. 2 receivers on each side. Shotgun for Lindley. Sets and throws the ball behind the check down receiver. That was running back Alfonso Smith. Incomplete. It is 4th down and 14.
He took what the defense gave him. Zone coverage. Had to throw to the running back underneath. Alfonso Smith probably has to come down with that. Nice composure by Lindley. Lindley's impressed me so far today. He can move in the pocket, extend plays, It's a little bit behind his receiver. Alphonso Smith has to turn to catch it, but definitely a ball that could have been caught.
So Jay Feely will try to tie this game up, an attempt of 35 yards. And Feely splits the uprights, and we are tied at 13 with 52 seconds to go.
It'll be interesting to see who they have return this one and whether or not they'll get to return it. Coach Studesville talking to Coach Fox. Maybe they're deciding who they're going to put in at running back to close the game.
I would guess they've probably seen enough of Ronnie Hillman.
I think
just
so.
a guess.
You know, he's nursing that hamstring. This is the most action he's had all season. He showed them what they wanted to see, get him out of the game. Probably going to be Jeremiah Johnson from here on out.
John Fox obviously wants to win this game. He also would love to win it in regulation. Last thing you want to do is play into overtime in a preseason game, and especially the preseason finale. Hey, Sundays this fall, the 9 News sports team will be up early to get you ready for kickoff. Broncos Game Day Live starts Sunday, September 9th at 10 a.m. on Channel 20. We'll speak weekly to John Elway and John Fox, also key players, before they hit the field. Sunday, September 9th, 10 a.m. on Channel 20.
Looks like they have Omar Bolden back there to return the ball again. Be nice to see him make a decent return. He has definitely shown the coaches something tonight, probably more so than he's shown them all preseason.
Broncos felt like had Bolden not torn an ACL before his last season at Arizona State, he was a first or second round talent. 9 yards deep in the end zone, wisely Bolden decides to take a knee. And so Brock Osweiler and company with 52 seconds to go will start from their 20.
I laughed. That was the right decision, but you see a guy like Sidquan Thompson telling him not to take it out of the end zone. You got to wonder if he's thinking, hey man, no big returns. You had your one for the day. I'm a return guy too.
Hey, good work here for Adam Weber. Denver still has 3 timeouts. They have all timeouts left. They need to navigate probably close to the Cardinals' 40-yard line. So 40 yards worth of territory to make up with 3 timeouts. We see what the young quarterback from the University of Minnesota can do. Snap. Weber hits the check down. Here's Jeremiah Johnson. Some room to run. Johnson's going to be out over the 30. He's got a first down.
He's got a first down, David. He's got to get out of bounds in this 2-minute drill. The clock keeps running. That's going to make it really difficult. You lose a couple of plays, and you get an extra yard out of it. Time's more important right now than that first down on first down.
Broncos letting a lot of time run. I think with him staying in bounds, they probably could have got a timeout. Throw over the middle is going to be into and out of the hands. A one-handed effort by Virgil Green. Blake Gideon on the coverage. Stops the clock with 22 seconds to go.
I'll tell you what, Adam Weber's a pretty talented quarterback. He is he's quick, he's athletic. You know, he's got a pretty good arm, and he's smart. He's got poise and makes good decisions. It's definitely not cut and dry between him and Haney. They got a great group of quarterbacks. Little play action. Jeremiah Johnson tries to thread a needle. You have to down here at this point in the game. Virgil Green can't quite come up with it.
2nd and 10, 22 seconds to go. Weber in the gun. Pumps once, looks to the check down, throws a deep ball. Ball's going to be fought and caught inside the 25. That was Greg Orton, who went up over Cresdon Butler and made a terrific catch. And Denver is going to have a 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 22-yard line after the 45-yard completion.
Denver.
I'll tell you what, they're just in quarters coverage.
It's a 30-second timeout.
They're in quarters coverage. Weber realizes he only got a few ticks left on the clock. He takes his chance at his big 6'3", 199-pound receiver. The little jostling goes on. Great throw by Adam Weber, and even better catch by Greg Orton. But again, Weber shows the poise and the intelligence to know he's got to make a play. There's not a lot of time. You got to give your 6'3" receiver a chance to go up and make a play. And Orton came up with the big one.
That's a terrific catch by Greg Orton. Take a look at some of the interesting decisions on tight ends. Dreesen and Tammy certainly had this team made. Virgil Green's had a big game tonight, although he will miss the first 4 games of the season. Julius Thomas had a drop in the first half. Cornelius Ingram's kind of an interesting player. 5th-round draft choice originally of the Eagles back in 2009.
Too bad for the Broncos. Virgil Green has to sit out the first couple of games. I think he's played real well in the preseason. He can run routes, he can catch, he can block. Probably Julius Thomas is going to hold his spot until he gets back, but Cornelius Ingram may make a run at it.
Thomas, a 4th-round draft choice last year, as you take a look at Greg Orton.
Good catch for Greg Orton. I'm glad he got to put something on film.
Denver with 2 timeouts left. 7 seconds to go. I think they'll try to position the football here. They do. Weber just takes a couple of steps to put the ball in between the hash marks.
Timeout. Denver. The second charge timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
The clock ran down to 0. John Fox is exasperated. So the clock here at University of Phoenix Stadium shows triple zeros.
Please put 2 seconds on the game clock.
My money's on Matt Prater, Dave. This guy is a stud. He's a big part of the Broncos' success. I think.
Well, for everybody here, including us, we are all hoping that that is exactly the case.
Prater is excellent. I would put my money on him every time. Not a lot of money. I don't have a lot, but I would put it on him if I had it. But you know what? That last catch by Greg Orton brings up an interesting thought. They got Demaryius Thomas, who's that big, strong receiver. They got Greg Orton and Jarrell Robinson, who are fighting for spots on the team. Sometimes it's nice at the end of the game to have a big guy that can just go up and make a play.
Matt Prater will try to win it for the Broncos from 44 yards out. I won't jinx him with the stat unless this goes through. Snap placement, kick on the way. Prater is money from 44 yards out. In his career, Matt Prater 28 of 29 in the 4th quarter or in overtime. Of course, that is regular season. But Prater right down the middle from 44 yards out, and the Broncos have won the preseason finale here in the desert. 16-13.
I'll tell you what, that would have hit the scoreboard if they didn't have the net up. That was over the uprights. Prater is money.
Fox and Wisenhunt, the 2 head coaches, talking. Ryan Lindley, San Diego State product. Of course, that's where John Fox went to school as well. We'll have comments in a couple of minutes from head coach John Fox. And now Peyton Manning can get ready, as the rest of the Bronco team as well will do, for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the home opener, the regular season opener, a week from this Sunday. Sunday night at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. That is going to be an exciting football game and a excited crowd, to say the least.
It is going to be rocking. I guarantee you the Broncos and Steelers have been looking forward to that game since they released the schedule.